Oh wait, did I do it? I might have actually done it. I wanted to set up my audio. 10 minutes, I won't have time to. All right, I can see my chat. I can see my subs. I need to hide this page. I just want to see if the audio is working. Content. Live. My broadcasts. Current broadcasts. All right, somebody say something. Let me see if I can hear Discord.
Hello.
42?
That'll work.
Or is that too many people talking?
No.
That's what he wants.
There's a long latency on it, but that's fine. It's just to record it.
Oh, great debugger. Okay.
Oh, yep, you're coming through just fine. There's like a 1 minute delay on the
On the stream?
on my stream. It's just to record it, so that's
On
fine.
YouTube though, eh?
You can do low latency, but I currently don't see the need. I
I
should
can
set
on
up.
Twitch when you go.
Okay. I should set up a game capture. All right. I might ask somebody to stream once they're in Star Citizen once we get going, but we'll worry about that later.
You streaming on YouTube?
I'm gonna stream it to Discord, but I'm saving it to YouTube. The last time I did the whole thing and I forgot to save any of it, or it failed, whatever happened. So I want to save these things just as, a record of stuff, but uh
Yeah, I guess I'll pop it on YouTube to save it.
Ooh. Done that one.
Oh yeah, fuck. I forgot that my source is all fucked up for the YouTube streaming. Ew, gross. Let's not do that. I don't have any of the scene stuff set up.
yeah, today's not one specific lesson, but a couple of general stuff just to like go over.
What about Naldiri? Wasn't he with us?
Um,
Along with that. Naldiri, Rhino, Omega.
Omega was with us, Rhino was with us. I'm trying to remember on Naldiri.
Maybe if you have them, because I don't have them on my list. They are online. Maybe send them messages.
Well, I appreciate the invite to the channel and everything, gentlemen and ladies, if there's any of them in here. I'm going to take off because I'm going to cause a lot of noise, so I don't interrupt your training.
Yeah,
So.
no worries, no worries. We're here.
Yeah, you're always
Don't
welcome.
feel bad about it.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Later.
You too. Okay, you got about 5 minutes. Okay. Where is Discord?
I figured as a special forces merc, I had to lighten up my armor. I'm gonna be a work on sniping and stuff like that, and fast moving scout. Fucking, you look just like a tank compared to me.
Okay, I'm gonna make one last bathroom run. I'll be right back.
Screenshots for us there. All right, we're live on Twitch, waiting.
I think he's saying it might be a little bit because he's got to fill everyone in with what's been going on. So
Fair enough.
I've told him we're sort of waiting. I'm sure he'll get in touch with Abel.
Alrighty. Who else left? Alright, I'm gonna start the event.
Did you? What I said there, though, Abel. I mean, it's fine. Do it. Yeah, starting it, but just so you know, he just said that he's having a chat with the guys that are in there. He's going to let them know first, so he's going to be a few minutes because I just asked him where he was.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to sort of message him.
I mean, I scheduled this from a few days ago. I don't know if he wants to talk to them or what he's doing.
Okay.
So is he talking on stream or is he talking to the other channel?
He's in your channel.
Okay.
In there's I've got
All right, let me.
Figgy Amiga, Professor Wright, and Zero.
Okay.
Oh, you're streaming too,
Or
Unlucky?
Roach.
Yeah, I'm
Roach.
just streaming it just to copy.
No worries. We're at Hurl L1 forming up.
All right.
Streaming.
Tools.
We'll keep things civil. Obviously.
How do you do an automatic pop-out window projector preview? There it is. Okay, so Discord. Share my screen. Untitled RGB color. No. Why can't I see the screen that I just popped out? Window projector preview. There it is. Okay. Okay.
Oh shit! I missed all the party invites.
Hmm?
I said I missed all those party invites.
Who's sending?
Yeah.
Looked like Doc sent a bunch out to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's in this tea, but it tastes horrible. That way. Anyway. Alrighty, so we're gonna have a minute of book stuff just to cover where we left off last weekend before we were so rudely interrupted. Okay, so starting the training. Watch my screen.
Yeah.
Everybody watching? Anybody watching?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I can't see, so I'll just make sure YouTube is actually recording something because it likes to not do what it says it's doing. Okay. So where we left off last weekend, I forgot to cover one thing when we were talking about merging and basically making contact, breaking contact. I was supposed to go over the OODA loop. OODA loop basically stands for observe, orient, decide, act. And this is going to be part of like when you're merging with somebody or a group, we're going to have to get in the habit of taking an assessment of what it is we're getting into and whether we want to get involved with that target. Perfect example was the Gem Mayhem that we did like last month. One Redeemer and 2 Hurricanes rolls up on a scene with 3 Redeemers and 2 Hurricanes. What is the likely outcome of this battle? Anybody? Bueller?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ground. I have no idea. Space Go Boom.
Okay, it'll apply to ground too, but I'll leave that to ground training guys to sort that out. If you roll into a situation where the enemy has superior firepower and numbers, you're going to get your ass handed to you on a silver platter, and this is exactly what happened. There is no way that 1 Redeemer and 2 Hurricanes can make up against 3 Redeemers and 2 Hurricanes. You just die. So the first step, observe. Crap. I am.
Hey, Eva, you think you can give that little critter a general hat or some shit when you do this?
I
Yeah,
probably
you know what?
could.
Honestly, I like that one better than the other one. I like
I'm
that
gonna
one.
make my own. I don't have time or the PC
I
to do it with
like
this.
I'm just messing around.
You should almost stick with that one. It
There,
fucking
there are, well, it's better than the little girly cutesy one.
And I will say this: the resolution is at a point where I can't read what's going on the screen.
the same.
Oh, it's at 1080.
Oh shit! It must be something with the bit rate or something.
It might be.
I-
It might be.
Because I'm actually streaming this part of it right now in my review window.
I don't think I actually have a hat in here. Eh,
Just go watch.
got a helmet.
Oh, you're watching the stream too. That's
I'm on
funny.
Checkers right now.
Oh wait, you can
I'm
actually
watching-
see
I'm
on your.
watching-
Oh shoot, my camera's on too. Let me turn the camera off.
Oh look, there's a hat on him now. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can.
I don't know if
Hey,
this one's
quick-
gonna attach.
Okay, so quick question. You got it in your stream there, and then you got your camera there. Hey, watch out.
Okay,
How
so
do you-
basically, I've got YouTube Studio, I've got VTube Studio, I've got GIMP, I've got what else do I have here?
And to
Discord.
get your critter on there, you're running your VTube Studio as a host, and that's also taken into account.
VTube Studio
Uh,
is a game window, and the background is set to
Okay.
transparency. So that window is then added to the stack of sources under OBS. So what you're seeing is the OBS output window, the combined output of the laptop to my left, the gamepad in front of me, and then the screen, my big screen up here.
Gotcha.
And basically, VTube Studio will let you animate the character and everything. So if I want to, move the guy around or things like that, I'm supposed to be able to hide the cursor. I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. It is a thing. But basically, yeah, you can manipulate the character and do what you got to do, except when it fucking breaks. Yeah. Tiny laptop, tiny memory, so there may be issues. But yeah, you can manipulate everything on VTube Studio. The characters made in Live TV, you can download them. This is a free one I found, but I'm gonna play around and make my own eventually. It's just in the planning stages. Just a thought. I have an idea for like a mascot, but I'm gonna work on that. There may be mechs involved. We'll see. Okay, so as far as this goes, you don't have to worry about this part over here. So basically, the OODA loop, it's a fighter pilot thing, right? It does apply to other parts, any part where you're having to take dynamic actions very quickly. Observe, orient, decide, act. So in fighter pilot parlance, observe means take an assessment of the situation. Where is the enemy? Where do you want them to be? How does the situation look? Where are the threats? The orient in aircraft is, of course, aircraft, if you're not flying, you're dying. So you want to put your aircraft in a position to, if you're going to engage or if you're going to evade, you want to put the aircraft in the proper position to do so. Make sure you're not flying into a fucking mountain or something like that. The decide is where you make the final decision whether you're going to execute on this action or whether you're going to, bail out. And then the act is where you actually put it into motion. Fighter aircraft being a lot more complicated than, Star Citizen ships, the basics still apply. If you roll up on a scene and there are too many enemies or too much firepower, you have to take that information in and realize that. Don't just, look through your HUD, but actually pay attention to what you're seeing. You see a sentinel, it's got EMP, you give it room. Don't go and sit there and snuggle up next to the thing because you know what's going to happen next. You see a bomber and you're in a big ship, make sure you set your decoys because you know what's coming next. Orient, again, where we're talking about the pre-turns, if you know that you're going to be doing a high-speed turn, your first action to orient is going to be to start turning in the same heading as the target to cancel out your velocity. If you want to brake, well, you're going to be turning into them or accelerating. Decide is deciding, okay, do you want to merge? If you're going up against a superior number of ships, superior firepower, you might not want to merge, you might want to break out. And then, of course, the acting is then the following through and carrying out that final maneuver. So I just want to cover that from last week because I think we brushed over it, and I forgot to bring that up. Okay. Next topic that we're going to touch on today is going to be missiles. Um, not too much to know about them. Torpedoes have ranges of up to 15, 20 kilometers. Regular missiles have ranges of somewhere between 8 to 1 kilometers. If you close inside of 1 kilometer, you can't get a lock. So you have to make a decision early on whether you're going to use a missile or whether you're going to switch to guns. EMP missiles are currently the bastard because those are the ones that will track you forever and never lose lock. So if you want to switch out to EMP missiles or things like that, that's a pilot's decision. That is currently a problem with the game. I don't like how they work, but people are using them. Best way to break EMP missiles is to set multiple flares so that you're dropping them by 2s and 3s. It works better when the game drops them in quick succession than when you manually trigger multiple. But flares are not used one by one, they're used in bursts because you have to break the lock of the missile. So sometimes it's just better to automatically set them, and you can set up your keyboard to do that. Excuse me. Another one would be like rattlers and things like that. I haven't used them too often, but I know they are pretty devastating when they can hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so keep your ear to the ground on changes to missiles and missile locks and ranges and like that. That will probably change with the speed change because I think those original distances won't work as well, but we'll see. Noise. I have not gotten a lot of use out of noise of late. It does work, but noise sets up a cloud, and inside that cloud, it lowers your signature and your RCS. So noise can be used if you're like near a station or somewhere where you want to hide from the turrets. It'll buy you some time, but you don't get as many of them, and I just haven't been using them as much. Well, I haven't been flying much lately, so I'll leave that to the expert pilots to go over. Another thing is notching, which is a thing we can practice, but it's a bit more temperamental. So in real aircraft, when we talk about notching, um, the missile's radar works, phased array radar works by Doppler effect. It compares differences, right? So if you're moving towards it or you're moving away from it at a high speed, it goes, oh, object moving forward or backward at high speed must be jet. Lock on to jet. And it will track that object and try to plot an intercept with it. And especially modern Fox 3 missiles, active radar guided missiles, are fucking lethal. Those things will kill you at 60 miles. They don't play. So when you know something is coming after you, you would turn your aircraft sideways to the missile. The radar can also see the ground. And as the missile is flying, the ground is moving. So the computer has been told to look for a surface that is moving at the same pace as the missile is moving and null that out and look for anything different. The thing moving towards or away, which is probably a jet. So when you turn sideways, and especially if you make a drastic change in altitude, you will slide into the missile's fence, its radar fence. You'll notch in. And when you notch in, the missile will lose track of you. So it will still go off of its prior course where it thinks you are, but it will not be able to update if you change direction. So if you turn sideways, but you hold the same course, the missile will still intercept you. But if you turn sideways and change altitude, the missile will fly to where you were, which is where you are not, and the missile will not know where you are until it is too late for the missile to do anything about it. Modern missiles being very energy limited. They get all of their energy in the first second of flight, and then they're gliding from there on out. But their first second of flight will carry them up to Mach 5, so be aware of that in a modern fight. In the context of Star Citizen, the missiles can turn around and come towards you, but they are still limited in their burn time. So notching basically means when the missile gets close to you and you make a last second adjustment that takes you out of its immediate course and it is unable to correct and hit you. You'll see some Avenger 1's videos on it. I'm not quite sure how to do it reliably. Basically, you're listening for the beeps, and when you hear it get really, really close and you make a last second jink turning into the missile, pretty much the same thing like with merging. You are making it impossible for it to merge to hit you in that merge, and then it will have to come around and make a second pass. Depending on the missile, if it's EMP, it might have the energy to do it, but you can just keep jinking back and forth and dodging it until its motor burns out, and then it'll lose you. So the context of notching is slightly different in that we are not notching into the radar. We're basically quick stepping out the way of the missile.
That used to be the common way to dodge missiles back in like 3.16 and stuff
Yes.
because the locks weren't
Yeah.
working so well.
It still works. It just doesn't work as easily. Now you have to be really like on your timing. But I saw Avenger 1 the other day. He was flying and he had no decoys left, and he was basically down to the bare bones. And these guys were just spitting missile after missile after missile. It was like a whole group of them, and he was basically quick stepping out the way, and he dodged about a half a dozen of them before they finally got him. Which, to be fair, even the best are only so good. It can be a tactic when you meet somebody that's really, really good that, you feed them one missile at a time, they run out of decoys, and then you just keep feeding the missiles until something smacks into them. That is a tactic for like a pair of fighters. Like if you have like a Cutlass that's can hold like 50 size ones, and you have a Gladius, maybe the Gladius dances with the target while the Cutlass just sits back a kilometer away and just fires off one at a time. And between the two of you, even if the other guy's better, sooner or later he's going to run out of decoys and you might get your kill.
Well, that was when you mentioned the Rattlers earlier. That was what
Mhm.
the Rattlers are supposed to do. Waste your decoys, and then maybe one or two small below size 1 missiles may hit them, knock a shield off. But you
Mhm.
would slowly pop one Rattler off, and then once their shields are down or they've exhausted their decoys, then you pop them with a big one or go in and shoot them down.
Right. So just to illustrate, because I'm going to paint in white because I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Create a new layer. Okay. Am I actually painting? Yes, I am. Okay, so just to illustrate, it's like this is the target. This is you. If you fire and they do a quick step and move out of the way, the missile has to spend energy to go back around and get them. If they do a notch maneuver while dropping a decoy, it increases the chances of decoy working. Likewise, when you drop a decoy, you might want to add a change of heading or any kind of change of direction to get out the way of the missile. Because if someone fires a missile and you decoy, the missile might go towards them, but it might just carry on its original course and intersect you anyway. So even if you're not notching, whenever you use decoys, you do want to add a little bit of change in direction so that the missile's programming doesn't take it to where it thought you were, even though you've defeated the seeker. With the Rattlers, I'll have to see how well it works because I don't know. Does it if they drop one decoy, does the Rattler just take? Because what it's going to do is it's going to split.
And yeah, some of them might go for the decoils, but some of them still track.
Okay.
I think they're infrared.
They are
So,
infrared, so
if you
the
get,
decoy will be.
so you try not to shoot multiples at each other because they get distracted by their own missiles and shit.
Yeah, I found that dropping multiple missiles is it feels satisfying, but it doesn't seem to work because if they drop one
Counter
decoy,
effective.
yeah, it is counter effective. Counter. It does not work.
Mm-mm.
I've tried to resist that temptation with torpedoes and like that because like you don't want to get near big battle cruisers and stuff. But when you fire a torpedo, if one connects, it can kill. You might think if you fire two, you double your chances, but actually your chances are the same. You're just wasting the extra torpedo. So it might be better to just like pop off one torpedo at a time and then back off. And if it misses, it misses. You take a second shot. I think
I
that's it
usually
for.
use my missiles and things when I need to regain my shields, and I'll use that opportunity to do a missile, start spamming a couple missiles and stuff. And then when I'm
Yeah,
ready to go back in, I just, move back to my forward-facing guns.
it can be a harassment attack to keep the enemy a little bit busy, but it also experienced pilots might know how to notch and dodge, so that can be mixed.
Well, the only reason
to
I
help
do
you.
it is like if I whittled their shields down or if I didn't do enough, I'll like do that to keep them distracted while or just to add some pressure while I'm trying to
Right.
relieve pressure on myself and regain my shields.
Well, I'm wondering if, I mean, the ideal is get their shields down and then hit them with a missile. That's a kill. If you catch a missile with your shields down, you're pretty much done for. So ideally, I mean, especially if you're working with another player and you get somebody's shields down, you can get a missile through. That's perfect. But yeah, it can be something that just keeps some pressure on them when you don't have guns on them. So we'll have to think about that, like how best to actually employ it. Um, I know with the torpedoes that torpedo on full shields, hammerheads and carracks can sometimes survive a size 9, but torpedo on low shields is usually game over more often than not. So like it would be beneficial with a bigger target to like make sure you take a few hits on the shield first before you fire if you're trying to use the missile to kill. My only problem with missiles is right now the probability of hit with how people spam decoys, it's just really, really low. It's not good enough to really do much. So I don't know. Mileage may vary. You know, everybody does what they think is best to make it work. Okay. Off of that subject. Other subject, same issue. EMP. I want to play a bit with the EMP today and feel it out. I think this changes in 318, so this might be a whole bit different beast in another week or so. EMP will shut a ship down if it lands on a bare hull. So if you want to board a target, and especially in 318 with soft death, if you can get their shields down and hit them with an EMP, that is your best chance for a nice clean boarding opportunity because it will shut them down for like 5 minutes. It'll be a while.
Well,
Um,
I don't know if that's complete shit shut down through EMP, but I do know the disruptors will shut you down for 5 minutes after build up.
yeah.
So what is it that you got? Always comes with the Sentinel?
EMP.
And then how do you have to go into the actual turret of that to do
No.
that?
No,
You
do
have
it-
to turn on the weapon, let it.
How do you turn it on?
You have to go in through the system, turn it on through the MFD, set a switch, charge it. Once it's fully charged and you get close enough, you release.
What we could
Okay.
do is pull an EMP ship and let's go and actually see the menu so those who have that question can actually do it and
Mhm.
see how it
Sentinel.
works. And a Sentinel, it'll be the same system
I
for
got
the
one.
Mantis and for the let's pull like a Sentinel and a Hawk or a Mantis and
Well,
a
I've got
Hawk
a
or something like that.
Sentinel and I don't know how to
Okay.
work it.
Okay, then bring the
Okay, if you
Sentinel.
got a Sentinel, you
Okay.
can pull your Sentinel. I think I have a
Alright.
Hawk here. I'll pull a
Alright.
Hawk if I have it.
Okay,
Okay.
so before we start pulling,
Hmm
EMP basically.
Can I just-
Yes.
Well, can I just say I've sent Figgy a message. It's just I don't understand why they're over there talking about what's been going on when they're not over here doing the training. What why don't you just say come over, do the train, then we'll talk about what's
I
been
don't
going
know.
on or something.
I kind of agree. It's like.
All right. Well, that's. I just wanted you to know that's the message. I don't want it to become a topic for everyone. It was just more. I've sent that to him. He hasn't answered back because I've just gone. Why aren't you over in
I don't
training?
know.
He's gone. Well, we're talking about what's been going on. So there we go. But it's a bit like this is a bit weird. But anyway,
It
which it would
is.
be. But there
It
you go.
is,
But
I
yeah,
think-
let's
I
carry
think
on
he's
then.
trying to show face in the Strike Force Cobra Force channel.
There's not that
I
many
don't
in there.
know. I don't know
I
what's
know.
going on, but he
It's
wanted
like
to
there's
talk
not
after
even
this
our
is done,
guys.
so he wanted to
Not
talk
only
after this is on, so we're going to talk about it.
that was mentioned is, and I'm against it. I don't believe that people should be pulled off individually into room to talk about things. We just have an open air round table when it comes time.
Well, like I say, if he's got to do it, that's fine. And that, but like I've said, I think we need to get it into an open arena. And why don't they just pop over, do the training? We can talk about it after, and then whatever. But anyway, let's carry on with what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd
Yeah.
let you know what I've sent.
No,
you believe
I told him that I was doing the training now and I was going to get it done, and he knows.
gathered,
He
yeah.
knows what the time is, and
I know I
ignoring it,
gathered. I
so
just
I'm going to carry
yeah,
through with what we're doing, and then we'll
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
base with
let's
them
do
when
it.
they're done and find out what it is they want to do. All right,
yeah,
so
let's do it.
EMP ranges, I believe it's about 500 meters. It's not very far. So, especially on the smaller ships, the Sentinel I think gets a bit more power and a bit more range. It has, I think it actually has 2
Lots
EMP
more.
emitters. So yeah, the Sentinel is much more dangerous than the Warlock. You can see it when it's charging up. So if someone's coming at you with an EMP, you want to keep your shields up and you want to keep your distance. Don't let them get up under your ass and fire it off repeatedly. If it hits you on full shields, it will take down some of your shields, but normally it will not stop you. If it hits you on no shields, it can stop you, and that can be a disaster. So,
And
mhm.
people pop the EMP, let it all, like, just expand it just to frighten you away. So sometimes they're gearing up for a long range attack if they want to scare you back, or they can't handle your pressure in close. Now, keep in mind, you do have to get away from that thing, but they want you further back. If they start popping that thing off, they're probably trying to get you in a long range attack.
It may be situational because if
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to set you up for a long range attack and you push in with full shields and they can't take those shields down, then the EMP going off will be wasted and they'll have to wait for another charge. And then you're right next to them and
It's a
they
bluff.
don't have a, yeah, you'd be calling their bluff. However, if
Mm-hmm.
they are able to hammer your shields and make an opening and set it off, especially if you're in a larger, slower ship, that can be a problem. So like
Well, the
Redeemer,
situation is remember with the small ships, your EMP field is 500 meters. You can get in and out with that. You just back off. That's it. Just back
yeah.
off for a second and push back right back in because that thing has no range on the smaller
Well,
light fighters.
a concern, especially for the Navy guys, is ships like the Redeemer are not good at quick dodging. So Redeemers are particularly vulnerable to Sentinels, and I've seen this play out time and time again, where a Sentinel gets into their blind spot under the tail and is able to set off multiple hits before they can do anything about it. You can't ignore, if you're in a larger ship, you cannot ignore a Redeemer getting close to you. Sorry, Sentinel getting close to you. So do pay attention to it. Like if you're going to call their bluff, you've got to get hits on their shield and you've got to keep your shield up. If your shield is going down, you don't want to be there with no shield next to that burst because that can cause considerable complications. Um, when using it,
That is target prioritization.
yeah, when using it, also watch out for like multiple guys with EMPs because they might try to set it off, one at a time and like pass by you and hit you twice. That can also be a problem. So be mindful of these little shits because when they start flying towards you, it can be quite a problem. And yeah, we're gonna pull out an EMP ship and just like play with the menu and see what you do with it.
I need
Okay.
a couple minutes. I'm just gonna go make a bottle for the Nova project.
Yep,
Be
no
right
problem.
back.
I need to figure out how to put these menus on another screen or like just share the middle bit. I'm not quite sure how I do that.
We mean you want the full, like your actual what you're working with
I want OBS
instead of your
just
menus.
if I go to
Yeah,
OBS, I want to share this just the middle part of the screen.
click on your source. There should be a drag window to show you how much you'll capture on it.
Oh, James.
Okay, I see. I'm at OBS.
No saying, but
And you
I'm on
click
the
on your
source.
source.
Yeah, I see the drag window. But when I drag it, it
Still no
resizes the
saying.
whole window. I don't want to resize the window. I want to change the capture area.
Yeah, okay, so you go to where you're grabbing that source from, because I think you're pulling that source to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, go into the original thing where you originally capture it, and
I gotta do like that.
okay, I see. It's not scaling correctly, so what you want to grab.
Yeah. Well, I just want to grab the middle piece
Mm-hmm.
like that so that you don't see the menus on the side. That looks a bit more professional.
Well, I mean, I'm streaming what you're doing.
So, yeah, I want to be able to like open up the different windows and talk about stuff.
Yeah. Oh, damn, my camera's on again. Stop.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
So I'm trying to get an overlay like yours, Unlucky. Kind of like that, where you have the a box for your chat, a box for your what's going on visually, a box for your possible face recording, or like maybe do something like Evil with the little talking critter. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that talking critter, man. when I see Evil talking with that, it's easier to actually follow along and shit. To be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little. It gives you something to focus on. It gets your other symptoms into it instead of just listening to it.
Yeah.
And it's
When you see these avatars, remember it's a puppet. Okay, it's a puppet manipulated by your face. So when you're like playing with avatars and like choosing them, just make exaggerated expressions. It's like if I open my mouth to smile or something, you gotta take it a little bit further. Like if you're gonna squint or close your eyes, you gotta take a little bit further. When you look, you gotta exaggerate it because there is some lag to it. And I know a better camera helps a lot, and you can tweak it. This is not a very expressive model. There are some that
you're
are much
using
better.
the OpenAI tracker.
No, this is just straight VTube Studio. This is an OpenAI. I'm pretty sure if you had a Toby or something, that'd be amazing. But you gotta, yeah.
No, I mean like with OpenTrack, you can turn your camera into Toby basically.
Okay, but what the OpenTrack does is it tracks the position of your head. So when you're looking around your cockpit, it's mapping your head in the cockpit to
Yes,
your
but
real
you
life
can also
head.
have it track-
It's not
you can
it's
also
not
have it
reading
track
your
your
expressions.
facial.
So
It does.
open
You can.
OpenTrack hold on.
does.
OpenTrack
It
does
reads-
not read your expressions, right?
You can add
VTube
it to it, yes,
Studio will read your expressions, but the
Open-
ability
OpenTrack
of
does.
OpenTrack does not read. OpenTrack is a IR track
It does.
replacement, right?
Set it up. Yeah.
It doesn't.
It
It
tracks
doesn't
your facial
read.
expression.
No, it doesn't read your expressions.
does.
I use it all the time, Doc.
does.
It doesn't trace your
I
expressions.
use
It traces your
does.
head
It does.
position.
Okay, I'm gonna take pictures.
VTube
It does.
Studio will track your expressions, your eye, your lip, your nose positions, and you can adjust like your individual features and how much you want them to respond and how you want the
How
puppet
it
to.
tracks your head. It tracks at each individual mark, like your nose, your cheeks, the elevation of your cheeks. That's how it actually tracks your head in OpenTrack.
Yeah, but it's
It tracks
tracking your head as a 3D positional object.
your
It's
facial
not tracking
expressions,
your
mouth, your eyes.
eyes and lips.
It does.
This
It does, yes, it
VTube
does.
will track your eyes and lips. So it's a different calibration process, and the accuracy of it is also different. So you can use like a cell phone, which is what I should be doing. But OpenTrack doesn't affect VTube Studio. VTube Studio has its own internal system. And one of the problems I'm having is that VTube Studio will not share the camera with OpenTrack because, shared resources, Windows 11, bad juju. So most likely I'll have to pick up a second camera or a cell phone. When I get my next setup, I'll think about that. But yeah, because I think that Toby, because it's a higher resolution camera, and because it's better made for face tracking, it's got that depth 3D field. It probably would look pretty amazing. And I think there is a hook in YouTube in VTube Studio for that you can use Toby specifically, like with the eye tracking and stuff. So that would be something to play with. But like I said, VTube Studio is separate to OpenTrack. OpenTrack is just for like head position. Okay, where was I? All right, I think that's it for just like the book lesson part. I gotta learn how to actually do this better because I didn't want to like record this stuff and save it for like later and do like proper classroom stuff, but we'll play with that.
Should have put a little professor hat on him.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make like a little mascot character, but I'm at the stage, like the planning stage, and I'm gonna actually when I finally get set up, I'm gonna get a proper Photoshop setup and like that, with a proper drawing pad and all that. Probably not the expensive graphics pad, but one of the cheap ones, at least I can sketch and do things properly.
Dude,
Right
they're
now
really
I'm-
cheap now.
Well, right now I'm using my iPad, which it's okay, but the accuracy is kind of meh.
Yeah, just get that whatever $80 Wacom
Yeah.
pad. That's perfect.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Worse than the other.
much easier if you get the one with the display screen so you have an extra monitor. Instead of just the flat mat pad. Just get the one that's the actual extended monitor because it can work for your OBS while you're streaming. You can actually touch or do whatever with the pin on that screen. It turns it into a touch screen, especially if you're using Windows 11. And you can use it as another monitor. But if you go with the, and I think it only costs like $80 for the one without the screen, $100 something like that is one with an actual bit monitor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this works for like doodling and stuff, but like actual sketching would be kind of a problem. But
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the tablet you have, the Apple tablet should be perfectly fine
yeah,
for what
yeah,
we're doing right now.
just like right now, it's just like thinking like what should be done. I got an idea for like a little cyborg mascot or something like that for like the piracy stuff. Probably a different one for like, the figure type characters. That's why I was interested in the like text to speech voice synthesizing. Because if you're acting a character, then it doesn't depend on one player. Like whoever's doing it can just type in and it will generate the voice. And then, these simple controls like a little PNG or whatever. So when it talks, it lights up. And you can just do that straight to OBS. Nothing fancy, nothing hard. And then, so whoever's running that stream can squad stream with the client and kind of leech traffic off of them. And then with that, you're getting a little hits, you're getting some, attention,
Yeah.
and kind of like makes your brand.
Evil.
So,
Just curious, they didn't have any kind of like little chibi military guy in there, any space marine dude or anything like that you can use.
Well, I'm using
Kerbal.
this is straight from
That's Kerbal, yeah.
Steam Workshop, so I'm just using the free stuff. If you go online,
Yeah.
there are all kinds of
On Hangout free.
everything for free.
I was thinking if we
and-
can use
Free.
Star Citizen images,
You can.
like cut it out really nice.
Yes, you can.
That's
Um,
something I would love to start working on when I get a little.
Yeah,
Like an
yeah.
overlay. Like a
I think
Star
when you
Citizen
see the
overlay?
technology,
Yeah, you just kind of take like 5 pictures of your character with a face tracker, like ones
Okay,
with
okay,
the,
yeah.
okay. So what
and
you
then
can do,
you cut it together.
the starting place for many streamers is what they call a PNG tuber. You take a really nice picture and cut it out with transparency, and you have a light version
Mhm.
and a dark version. And I wonder if I made a couple years ago. I don't know if I still have them.
Is there any like AI tools that do like a deep fake, maybe kind of?
I
Like
mean,
a
Yeah, you can do that.
Do that. That's up
A little
to
time
you.
consuming.
like you throw in some images or a video of your character, and it could deep fake it as a VTuber character.
Yeah, you can do that. The face is human enough that you can actually meld your face and your character's face and make
Yeah,
it
you
take
could.
over.
do it that way, then with Star Citizen, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can film your character standing there, dancing, whatever, and then replace the head because like a lot of AI like head replacers will see that as a human's face and replace your face with it.
The other thing is though too, I want to make like a Star Citizen-y overlay, like you know how you have your overlay. So what about like a Star Citizen one, like Area 18 kind of theme?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
you
that's
can do
exactly
that.
why I grabbed this overlay because it looks like some random techno-y shit, and I was like, it works close enough, Star Citizen. You could literally take, but you got to remember when you take assets from Star Citizen, whether it's just an image, whether it's just a fucking stop sign that they did, you
CIG.
have taken their assets.
Yeah.
Hold on. If I took like a picture of Area 18, cut out chunks to make like an overlay screen, that would be.
Well, that's fine. It's not like you're using their like shit to
Well,
like,
so
drink Fizz Cola.
I think as
You can
long
take a
as
picture
you
of Area 18.
attribute it, just like any other streamer, it's like, we're playing Star Citizen and you attribute it properly, it's not a
Yeah.
problem. But when they have rules on like how you can use their assets and things like that. So you got to be mindful of it. CIG has not been bad so
And-
far.
Yeah,
Nintendo
I think
is bad. Nintendo will fucking sue you and shut you down
Whoa.
for anything. So,
Yeah, you don't fuck with them.
They
Nijisanji-
figured it out.
I love it.
Nijisanji and like those, they'll sue
Oh.
you for posting their images. So
Need
you
to
gotta
photo.
be
Oh, there you go.
you gotta be real careful and like how so far Star Citizen CIG has been very good. So they'll let you use assets and things like that. But I would say just
Anyway.
attribute
Did it
it
fire?
and
By the way, we do have pretty much everyone here now. Do we want to start today's training now, or
well, we are in the middle of the
we're at-
training. So
In middle, mate.
we're gonna go into the game right now. Once I
Oh,
save
we're
this.
Just do that again.
Shit, I'm streaming the wrong shit.
Okay,
Do it one
let
more time and
me-
I'll take a photo. We've
I'm
got
going
the
to Steel Advent stream.
We have Advent, G host, Unlucky, and myself here
Yeah.
at Dahlerlel 1. James, Figgy, if you guys want to come and
Hold on, I wonder if I can.
at today's training, do
Are you
the
guys
whole-
in PTU or PU?
We're in the
PU.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder
Ooh,
if
that
I
is kind
can-
of cool.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
see
fuck it, I'm
this-
coming
Right,
in.
print shots. It's got your
tag
tag on. Oh, I can't get your tag off in time. That's fine.
Getting
Right
better.
then. Getting that in there. Nice.
Okay, let me see.
We swap back over. Who else is
Flip
lost
sides.
stream?
Display capture.
I figured out how to use the Sentinel's EMP.
You just gotta tell me.
Hey,
The other thing of the business, so there's a few stragglers, people like Naldiri, Rhino, and so forth. I see them online in the game. Does anyone want to send them a message on Discord and let them know where the Strike Force Discord is now located, and maybe they can,
yeah, what are they doing over in the,
we'll call an Operation Wayward Sheep for the next few days and try and locate people that will run Strike Force and maybe Wayward.
Speak window.
And you just gotta go into your weapons menu and turn it on.
Oh, side launcher. Why can't I capture a Discord window? Is that like application capture?
Yes.
Application audio
There you go.
capture.
Very nice.
Window capture?
James or Figgy, if you guys probably have
show up
a
under games.
list of members, correct?
It's
What
public
did
to
you do?
everyone, yeah. No, no,
Like the people that aren't here that are online, maybe like Naldiri, do you want to send out notices to all of them with a Discord link?
Figgy needs to decide that. I've talked about it today, and we were in disagreement.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
That's why we're here, maybe.
Right. Goes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
The idea is to get them through recruitment, and I think Figgy wants to wait another like month or two after recruitment until they can join here. Figgy, are you here?
We'll have to... Is he here?
Figgy?
I don't see.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you elaborate on that? Doc is asking if we can start inviting the other Strike Force people into this Discord.
The problem is this. A lot of those guys don't even know what happened and what we're doing. So I had guys there today that showed up for air training in the Cobra Discord. And I had to explain to them why and what things are happening. So the guys that I spoke with today, they have no interest on leaving Cobra Force. They don't want to go to another work. They want to stay inside Cobra TV. So that's, I have to tell everybody individually what they want to do, and I can't force them to come over here if they do not wish to do so. So, and I told them, I'm still going to be running the Strike Force, Cobra Strike Force. I'm the liaison there, I'm still going to be running it. So if they want to choose, they stay there, they stay there. That's their choice. I cannot force anyone to join something they do not want to be a part of.
Yeah, understood. I mean, ultimately, we do want to try to filter the membership over here, but if they don't want to leave, as I said, the conditions have changed as far as our relationship with Cobra Force. We are still working with them, but if they want to hang in that Discord, you're all right. We can't force them to
It's going to be, it's going to be an issue. It's going to come to a point, and I can see this happening, is eventually someone's going to have an issue and going to report saying that we're pulling people away from Cobra Force to come over here, and that's going to be a problem.
So
Yeah, I'd rather not touch their players.
we have historically worked with other groups and gone to their Discords for trainings and things like that. They can come here for training without violating any oath to Cobra if they so want.
Yes, they can, but they don't want to. At least if they spoke today.
Yeah.
Hold on, because there's a little bit of a grey area there. I get what you're saying there, Fig, and you, Evil, because what you were saying is about them coming over just to do the training, then they go back, but it's nothing to do with joining them if they want to do Strike Force
Well,
training.
I think the problem
But
is
you're saying that they didn't want to even come over just to do
No,
the
they
training.
didn't want to.
Right,
what I think the problem is because of how recently it's happened, whatever scuttlebutt is going on over there, whatever rumors or things
Well,
that they're hearing, they might
is that
be
not
feeling
the
like
next
they
question?
would rather be with Cobra
Is-
Force, and that's fine.
Is
by
it,
me.
well, we're not. Raven, is it not that? Is that what the reason was? Is it because they'd heard about the issues that they didn't want to put themselves in that
Hard to
position?
say. Hard to say what people's positions are now. We kind of drew a line in the sand at this point when this happened, right? So now you have divisions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what's going on at the moment.
What we
But-
need right now in that instance, Advent, is some time for things to settle down. I wouldn't force anybody right now to do anything. I would say
I would not approach anyone. I hear Doc saying that we should be approaching where strike force status is negative. We do not, until I've spoken with them personally and explained to them what has happened and what our current dynamics is, no one is to approach the main core body that we have now. The only ones that are left are the guys that are pro-Cobra Force. So now I'm talking to each one individually, trying to find out what they want to do. I'm explaining to them what happened and what we're doing, and it's their choice to decide what they want to do. Now, I did tell the guys today that I'm still running the contingency in Cobra Strike Force, so I will be there, as well as James and a few other people will be there, still running that team there. If they want to stay there, they stay there. If they're okay and they're open to it, like I said, I think over time, this veil in the sand, line in the sand may disappear with the wind. But that's the situation right now. There is currently a clear line of two different sides here. There is a separation. So we got to deal with it. It's expected. It's going to take time.
as I said, right now all the divisions are fresh. We need time to show that we're still working with Cobra Force, we're still doing things on our own, and that this is not an either or situation. But Figgy needs that time to politic. So don't if it's a long-standing member that wants to come over here, toss them an invite. But if it's one of the recruits or somebody that might not want to come, don't force them. Just let things settle. And then I think as things settle, as all the tempers soothe down, probably will come around. Or maybe they didn't want to be with Strike Force to begin with, because a lot of them are still recruits and they were going through that feeling out phase. So just let things settle. I'm not saying, don't talk to anybody at all, but let things settle. Don't force anybody's hand. If they want to talk,
The big issue is that you're going to come to them and ask them to come to this Discord, and they're going to immediately think, why do you want me to go to another Discord? So they're going to automatically, because most of these other guys that are left don't know the story, don't know what happened. So you approach them saying, come to this Discord, they think you're trying to take them out of Cobra Force. That's going to be the first reaction.
Yeah. We don't, as I said, we don't want to, right now, as I was talking to Figure earlier, we don't want to make any fresh injuries. We want to give things a chance to settle down. And if anybody's got any hot tempers or anything like that, just let them cool off for a week or two. And then we could broach it a lot more smoothly. It's just, I think right now, those that are here that want to be here, they're here. Those that are conflicted, they need time to sort out what they want to do. And then we need time to.
And it's fine. If they want to stay there, it's okay. I'm going to be running that side of it, and it's fine. I mean, we'll do if whatever people do. We're going to do whatever they want to do in the end.
The only part where it will get to be a problem is in the future when we're doing events. I want to station ourselves here and use SRS to interact across Discords, or back channels to interact across Discords, and that's just to keep our membership here and out of other Discords where shenanigans might happen. At least until things have settled. We should do operations here, but like I said, if they're doing stuff over there and they need time to work it out, give them their space, and then I think they will come around. But right now, with the rumor mill all abuzz, the last thing you want to do is add to the rumor mill and give them justification, because someone's whispering in their ear saying, "Oh, Strike Force is trying to sniper people," and then they get an invite to a server and saying, "Come over here." They're gonna be like, "Oh no, it's true."
Yeah.
Just let
And I'm pretty sure Cobra's going to come talk to me one day as soon as he gets out enough. So it's going to happen.
I
Telling you right now.
I mean, honestly, I think
I'd
if
say
we look in
they
the longer run, when we sit down with Cobra, I don't think he has not run a closed org since the beginning. His org has always been open. So people have been coming from other orgs to him and going from him to other orgs for as long as I've known how they run their show. So I don't think it's a matter of, oh, you're stealing people. The people that want to be with him will be with him. It's just that we cannot do organized things in their server because their server is admined chaotically. So, like I said, Figgy, you want to be the point of contact over there and keep things going. I think that's okay. I think that gives us a chance to like mend our fences. Let's not do anything to aggravate for right now, and just give Cobra a chance to recover, because I think he's been through a lot too. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So just leave it be. You got the core guys here that that all are on the same page already. Deal with that. Start building. We'll start building what we got here with who we got.
Okay.
Because remember, we just started approaching other orgs and things like that, and we start building that base already. So I mean, we can start doing that. But as far as the Cobra side of the house is, I'll take care of that portion of it. I'll deal with that. I'm the representative for that stuff. So.
Okay, so Figgy, by your leave, I'd like to continue the training. We're gonna be,
Roger.
it's only about like 10, 20 minutes more.
Yeah, sure. Right.
We were gonna go into Star Citizen. I think Advin already did it. Advin, I was watching your screen. You stopped. Are you still sharing? Anybody got a screen?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, I got Twitch up.
Yeah, I can do OBS or I can do Star Citizen. I can't do both because
No, I do Star
Yeah.
Citizen.
So I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
need-
Yeah, sorry, I gotta borrow your stream.
I have to go shovel some snow really
Oh,
quickly here.
yeah. Go take care of it. Basically, we're just gonna go and play with the ships for a bit. Okay, so Advent went to go see where in the Sentinel to activate the EMP. Anybody else?
Okay, when you go to the gun menu, when you go to gun MFD, there will be a on-off switch.
Okay, so I think that's pick a menu.
Weapon group 1.
All right, the wife is talking. Go ahead. Where do I go?
Go to one. Hold down F and point at one of the MFDs. Go to menu.
All right. Okay.
Go to weapons. Somebody correct me if I'm doing this wrong. Okay, you'll see guns. Is it under guns or system? It should be under guns, right?
Guns.
Okay, you'll see where it says 1 and 0. 1 is the things that are on. Sorry.
No, one is the weapon group. 0 is the weapon group.
Group 1 is your alt fire key. 0 is your main fire key. On the left, you'll see status on. That shows you what's been activated. So, EMP.
Oh, it's probably because. Did you do that, Ghost?
Earlier. Yeah.
Normally that would have been off. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
most,
You can click off now if you want.
yeah, just cycle it so we could see how it looks.
Right. So that would have been what it would look like. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay,
you're gonna
thank you.
when you come in and you see most chips will be off. Before you
Right.
launch, you might want to turn it on, and then I believe now it'll be on your Fire 2 key. So when you press your Alt Fire key, it will start to charge, and then when the bar has fully charged and you press it again, it will go off. If you leave it running too long, it will disarm itself if you leave it running too long. I don't know if there's a penalty, like if you charge it up and don't fire.
You'll see the yellow bar under it start to overheat, and then you have that long time delay before it cools down, and I'm not sure if you have to wait for that yellow bar before it started cooling down, but it looked like you did. So if you overheat it completely, I think you also have to wait for it to cool off before we even let you start to recharge.
Right.
Yeah, there is a generation time. Where is the bar?
Oh,
if you look up what
that's
weapon is, you'll see the bar.
Yeah, it's on the Sentinel MD.
385. See, that's moving up
Oh,
now.
okay. Yep, I see it.
Something's happening. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Am I doing it again? No. Yeah, hold on. So, what is it? Oh,
See, if you look at where all your guns are, like your ammo for your weapons are, there's one next to it that is the
RAP-VS.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the yellow bar on the bottom is your heat.
Yellow bar.
Yeah, if you
What will you do? It'll be below your ammunition count.
look at the red one. I believe it's the red one. Yeah, you see RPVS, the bar.
Or red bar, sorry, it's red. It was yellow on my screen.
Yeah.
Why does it keep going off now? How do I stop it? Oh.
Probably because
Turn it
you're
off?
pressing the B key. You can probably turn it. Yeah, turn it off. That'll solve that.
Right, okay. Oh, that's unlucky. What you got there then? Have you got the other one?
Geos, do you have a Mantis available?
I can pull up Mantis.
Yeah, pull it out, and then you and the guys fly outside from Hurl 1. I just want to play with the I want to play with the
Where is it?
the inhibitor, but I also want to play with the snare, but I don't know how to use
Oh,
the snare.
God! I've been taken off apparently.
Hold on.
No, I'm on the ground. It's fine.
Yeah. Can we get down?
Can I get a party invite?
Who's got party
Well,
lead?
no, I was leaving. I just didn't realize you were in the air, so I fell.
Sorry,
Oh.
who's got party lead? Toss Figgy a party invite. I'm not in the game.
I think Doc.
Doc, you got it?
I think
Doc.
Doc
you
went
might
AFK.
to the Nova project. Yeah. Just doing you one. And
start
Figgy,
the
you
party.
take it.
Figgy, you want to start it? I think
Roger.
you, Advent,
Yeah.
Easy Host, Unlucky, and Doc will be coming back shortly. I think Embers is hiding back there. Oh, no, Embers is not in the game, is he?
No.
Okay.
I'm just moseying.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah, we don't really have a active kit training today. I'm just kind of like making sure everybody knows how the buttons work, kind of stuff.
Like invites are out.
Yeah.
Has anybody used the quantum snare successfully?
I mean, I successfully fired it off.
Yeah. Like,
I've never caught anyone with it. No.
also I'm wondering, like, how do we set up? I would like to see it when it catches someone. Like, have somebody set it off as somebody else is flying past. But I have no idea how the hell you time that.
So that would probably be like go to Mongrel Squad and figure it out.
Yeah, watch one of those videos maybe.
Because the thing is, watching Pirate, like especially Mongrel Squad, yes, they're a pirate organization, but the stuff that they have been testing and doing has been great for anybody, really.
I would tell anybody, I know Mongrel Squad videos are hard to stomach, but this is the enemy, and you need to watch.
You must understand your enemy.
So that so you can understand what they're doing. So when you see that bullshit happen, you're like, oh, they're setting up a trap. It's like, okay.
Well, yeah, if you know how your enemy acts, then it's best
Yeah.
to you're gonna be better off to fight them.
Yeah. So I know, as I said, I know their videos are hard to stomach sometimes, but if you can soldier through a few of them, and the same thing with Avenger 1, I really can't take too much Avenger 1. He does get on my nerves, but he puts out very good information. So, it's worth
That
was smug.
He is
To be fair, his fucking like training videos are fucking so hard to fucking follow. That's why I like Jonathan Winter much more than anyone.
For A1, I think it's because he talks very technical. Like for me, I love A1 videos because I understand all the technical jargon he's going on.
It's more of a freaking fourth grade drawing.
As you see them,
I'm like, alright, this is like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. If anybody finds good videos like piracy, dogfighting, tips and tricks, exploits, things to look out for. I don't want hacks, but if anybody you see like those ring videos, like, oh, we found a hacker, this is what it looks like. Link those in the mess hall chat so that we can study them and just like get familiar with the bullshit that is afoot.
You could start another channel just like tips and tricks, maybe, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like
that way it's all consolidated in one spot. You're not going through fucking 18,000 useless posts to find one fucking video.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe we should do that. Like have a study hall or something like that just has like, or like a information. You could come up with a name.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah. So I want to make it official. I do not condone cheating whatsoever. We are firmly
Yeah.
against using hacks or exploits, just to be
Can't believe
clear.
that.
However, we do want to be aware of them so that we can document and report any cheaters we find. If we see somebody doing it, try to get it on video, get names, and let's get that to CIG so that they can plug holes. Understand that. Mm-hmm.
For people's choice, whatever, personal choice, okay, but publicly and for the unit as a whole, we also won't participate in purchasing money on the gray market. Ships, that's fine, but like money, I think, because that also goes into the possible supporting money dupers, kind of thing like that. It's just bad karma, bad PR.
Buying AUEC. Yeah, I think buying AUEC is kind of stupid because it's so easy to make it.
And it's kind of pointless right now.
Yeah,
If the individual members
well, the
want
hackers
to
can generate.
themselves.
Yeah, but one of the hacks is they can generate AUEC. So the guy that's selling it to you is making it for free and then taking your money. So
Not only that, but you're still supporting the bad guys. I think it is probably against the rules.
Yeah.
I think as a fucking whatchamacallit, a policy, we should also say that we do not participate in that.
Yeah, let's not. I mean, the gray market, the ships and the skins and that kind of stuff, buyer beware. I don't care, but do not buy cash to be used in the game, the AUEC, or ship components or things like that from the gray market, because for real money, because A, it's stupid, and B, it does contribute to people that are damaging the game. So try very much to avoid buying AUEC for real money, because that's a bad idea.
Technically, you can do that on our RSI website.
You can buy it from the RSA website. I don't care about that. I mean, that helps the game, but if you're buying from a hacker,
Can you buy money from the RSI website?
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive, and it's not really worth it. It's literally easier to just do true trade runs and make
Isn't it
$100,000.
20,000 UEC for £20
Yeah.
money?
I think that's a stupid thing to do, man.
I did it when it first came out, this game, and I didn't even realise what the value of money was, and it
when
was
they
just
first started, 'cause how I got my AUEC that I did, because I got like 100,000 AUEC. When they first started and they had the venture store, they were saying that, 1,000 AUEC is worth like $1. So, that was supposed to be the exchange rate. And then they would start the venture store where they were selling missiles and ship parts. And I had bought a couple of those things. I bought the size 4 turret for the Hornet, and for the
One more thing that came up. 15 minutes. Be right back.
You get from me, Unlucky.
So when they closed the venture store, they refunded everybody's purchases in AUEC, which that's kind of a dick move, but well, it is what it is. I mean, so that's how I wound up with my AUEC. But then it's like 100,000 AUEC is worth like what, $50 or something like that, and you can make 100,000 AUEC in like an hour or less. I mean, not even trying, just doing bunkers. So yeah, you can buy AUEC from CIG, but they never updated the price value. And it's entirely possible that after they're done with their whole economy balancing, that the value of AUEC per dollar will be restored, because we're going to have multiple wipes. They're going to redo all of the trade, all that's going away, it's coming back. In the long run, it may make sense. Right now, it does not make sense. I would not buy AUEC from CIG. I would just go out there and shoot somebody and earn it that way, just as the game intended. It's just better to do it that way. And seriously, guys, we're going to be farming different events, like, for building up our war chest again. If we need ships for like operations or things like that, put in a ticket with the commanders, and we can get you those funds if you need to buy a particular ship or something like that for an event. Like if you need like the ballistas or the Centurions, or you need to get like the Hurricane, we're going to be farming events, and we're going to have the money to burn, because that money will be wiped someday too, and we can get you those ships you know, because you'll be using them at doing stuff that we're doing. So if you need it, don't be shy about asking for it. We can arrange the funding. Money's not really an issue, and there's no reason to have to gray market it or worry about that. I mean, if you want an 890 or something, actually, it's a fun goal to grind up the money yourself. So I find that earning the money is like it's part of what I do in the game. So I don't like getting money because it kills my reason to play the game, which is to farm money. I know that's kind of weird when I say it out loud, but the eyes on this character are not actually attached to my eyes. I don't know how that works. I can't see when I blink. Actually, I can see when I blink. It's just 30 seconds later. Yeah, I was watching one of those VTube studio girls that was like talking about how she runs her model, and she says that your face hurts after a while if you're doing it right. Yeah, my face is starting to hurt. Like the smile is like, ah. You got to open up your whole jaw in order for it to that. Ah.
I was sitting here talking about my mic muted.
How'd it go?
G-Host, how long did that take to disrupt you? And did I actually pop you with the EMP?
Man, no, the EMP only does like 40% damage to me, yo. It did nothing.
I hate you with two. I'm using nothing but disruptors. I wanted to see how long it would take to shut you off.
I mean, yeah, it took me to shut me off.
Yeah. It's like 3 volleys of like full power disruptors going. This is all going to be changed. Still going.
Your EMP only did like, yeah, I'm shut down now. Your EMP did like 40% to my shield, and that was it.
Okay. Yeah, that was I hit you once, and then I hit you another time after your shields were gone, but it didn't turn you off. So let me know when you come back online.
I'll probably be able to get away before you got free to damp, by the way.
The dampener on that thing, I think, is only supposed to be like, let me see. I'm gonna check my, turn this thing off.
I was gonna say, fly away from me.
Yeah, I'm about to check it now. Ooh, let's see. It's not telling me I'm quantum locked.
How about now?
Yeah, you gotta turn it back on.
Hey, Figgy.
Yeah.
You want me to channel called Flight School?
Okay.
I'll just start dumping like informal videos and shit like that in there.
He just wanted a chat channel, right? Not a voice channel.
Yeah, just
kind of thing.
All right.
For
4 to 5 clicks, G-Host.
just a chat channel.
Its range is 4 to 5 clicks.
That's not terrible.
Nah.
So in there would go like dogfighting, operational tips,
Maneuvers.
any like alerts on like exploits or problems to look out for. You see like how Adventure One did that rings video. I think everybody should watch that video. I know it's overdone, but it actually does make a good point, and everybody else is seeing it. So if they ask you about it, you'll be able to say, "Yeah, I saw it." I think Morphologist made another video, but I don't think he added anything new. I think he just because I saw Salty Mike.
It's kind of spreading awareness kind of deal.
Yeah, which I mean, I watch guys like Asmongold when they do like reaction stuff, and I do get it's like sometimes if you watch somebody reacting to somebody else's video, they'll add stuff that like explains or like they'll add their opinion and it gives you like a different view on it. But sometimes it's just like, okay, we're just making content from content, and it's like it's not adding anything. So,
Question.
Mhm.
So once you've charged it up, how do you fire it?
Tap the same button again.
Okay. But you have to be in what range of the target?
For the Sentinel, I think it's about 1,000.
I suppose it comes on
For the Warlock, it's closer to like 500. Proximity matters, so I would say like well inside of 1,000.
Yeah, okay.
And you should see their shields flicker when you hit them. If you've hit them. Geos, you got that mantis up yet, or are you still puttering around?
Fire around with it.
All right. You want to turn on the quantum inhibitor and just like play around, keeping up. We've got to make better use of the mantis. I prefer the Cutlass Blue, but the range on the Cutlass Blue's freaking inhibitor
Whoa.
is so.
Sorry, mate.
Did I hit you with that?
No.
What's the range of the blue?
It's like 5
should-
kilometers.
Same on the mantis.
It's not, it's when I do it. It's not far enough again.
No, they're able to, you said 5 kilometers and you were no longer
out.
Yeah.
So get within like.
Just turn it back off.
Okay, so turn it on and get within 10 of Advent. I want to see if I see the logo pop up on his screen.
No, I've got like I don't get this. If I shoot now, it's the
I'm in, I'm like within the.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
right now.
It doesn't happen then.
Yeah, be careful.
You have a prime stat, do you?
Oh, no, he doesn't have.
I don't get it. No,
That hit
the
you.
right button.
Look away. You heard me, Evan?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, stand in front of me. Just sit in front of me a minute, and then let's just try it.
I'm slowly moving towards you.
Yeah, I don't see the
It's
inhibitor.
even harder when you're moving.
Yeah, I'm about 4,000 meters away from them.
And that's the
Just
mantis
tap on blast.
inhibitor on.
Right,
Yeah.
so if I now charge it up. Oh, I've got to wait.
You want me to charge it up or you?
No, I'll charge it up if you don't mind. Just
Yeah, go ahead. Want shields up or down?
You put your shields up. I don't want to hurt you.
No.
Just want to try to see if I can actually hit you.
Unlucky. Do you see your?
Right,
quantum
charging
inhibitor?
up.
Do I see, what was that?
Right, I'm charging up. Hold on, I'm charging up. Right, 26, 31, look at my stream. So what do I do? Oh, I'm not streaming.
Hit the button.
You
on
can
the
hit
screen
this-
again.
Yeah, just one.
When I'm at 100 or?
Yeah, when it's 100%, you let it rip.
So I can wait. Because that yellow one's going up now. Do I let it carry on going up or not?
It's okay, because it takes a long time for that to overheat. Let the charge build up. Jesus Christ. That ripped my shields down to 15. That one.
You got it. Oh, you did get it then.
I did get it. I just got hit with it. And it took my shields down.
Do me now. Do me.
Alright, I gotta get a lot closer to you. Well.
Right, so it took you down to what?
It took me down to from 50 on all shield bases down to 15. So that took 3/4 of my shields off.
And what are you in? Oh, you're in a...
I'm in a Hawk light ship. You really want to hit people with an EMP after you've taken your shields down.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I think at a certain point they're gonna, because the way it sounds like they're making the new one, like EMPs might not do too much damage against shield, so it might be your shield kind of defends you against it, but once your shields are down, it hits your component, that's when you can fuck it up.
Yeah, and to actually give you accurate, my shields go up to 100% on all faces, and you took it down to 15. I thought it was like sitting at 50. Okay, I'm gonna blast you, Evan.
Okay, go on, I'm 50 on them both.
Okay, so is that the highest shields going on their face?
Yeah, because it's like 50-50, it's 100 altogether. Go on, do it.
Okay, I'm gonna blast you now.
47.
Oh, down to 47, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hard.
Yeah, bro. Like my shields go up to 100, and you rip them all the way down to 15.
Okay.
So basically, if you ding somebody's shields enough and you set that off, that would do damage to their systems, even if
Here,
it's
I'm
not
gonna-
all the way.
I'm gonna turn my ship off, and you hit me with that EMP. I'm turning my shield off. Charge up the EMP. And then I want to do a test. Yeah, I want to do a test on you with your shields down, see if it shuts you.
I just doesn't destroy you though.
No. It will not kill. It's made for non-lethal. You know, this is all non-lethal stuff.
Like just yeah.
Shit! That's
Sorry,
right,
man.
you shot me, dude. You
Yeah,
killed me.
sorry. Press the wrong button. Did you get the other one?
I lost my MFDs, but I can't even tell what's going on. I can still maneuver and fly, and it just bugs.
Did you share shields gone dead?
All my ship, it really fucked up my ship. My screens are glitching. My ship was operational, but I couldn't see any information. My ship's in a bad way.
I'm sorry. Do you want to repair? Come back. wait.
It's slowly clearing off.
Oh, okay.
So is there
Okay.
like
I did
physical
press the wrong button.
Is there any physical
was
damage,
main-
or is it just
No, he shot me with a large
Okay.
with no shield.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens to you. I'm getting a little close. All right, kicking it off.
He's at about 50%, 47%.
Oh,
47. Yeah.
were your shields all the way down?
Oh shit, no. I'll take them off. Yeah,
Okay.
jump off. Turn them off.
Yeah, let's turn them off.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
charge my generator.
Hold on. No, fuck. I'm not that quick. Shields. Hey, just turn them off quick.
Just hit,
I've got it. Yeah, power. Yeah.
Yeah, just tell me when they're
fine. They're down to 0. Go.
Okay, and keep eyes on the rest of your MFDs and everything, and tell me if they get all fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, see, mine got turned off.
Mine.
So there's different stages of this.
Mine is jury as hell.
Do you guys remember when you used to fly through certain places, you would get this effect on your screen, certain dust clouds?
Yes, I remember that. I remember that effect. That was
That was supposed to be a feature of dust clouds, and they had it in and they took it out, and I don't know
Coming
why.
back now. Coming back. I'm all okay now.
Also, Hurston, electromagnetic field on Hurston would fuck up your screens too.
I don't remember Hurston. Where did it used to happen?
Hurston and Microtech, it used to fuck your screens up.
I remember Microtech, but I thought they said it was a bug at the time.
Yeah, it might have been a bug.
Got this speakerphone feature on this app I've got on my phone, so like all the guys are on there talking.
Hey, I want to try something else out. Don't move. Keep your shield. Keep the EMP up. I want to see if I fly through the field, if I nick through that field, if it will damage my shield.
Give us a setting. Do you want shields up or down?
You can turn your shields up. I want to see if leave your shield down because I don't want to touch you, but I want to get close to you without bumping you.
Give us a setting. No recharge.
Because I wonder if you keep that field up, if I fly through the field. Mm-hmm. So it might be an added layer of protection if you have smaller fighters on a larger ship that can generate the EMP field.
Okay, we'll try it. Just waiting. 2 seconds. Here we
go. Do you have a cooldown period on yours?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go and hover within that field. Just keep it up.
Yeah.
I want to see if it disrupts me. It doesn't seem like it does.
Just go even further. Go further.
I think until it gets set off, it's just an effect.
Bit further. Forward.
You're in it.
Oh, it's gone.
Okay. Yeah, just shoot it off. You can blast it.
It's not
okay. Yeah, I'm not shut down, but my MFDs are off.
Alright.
Okay. And your ship is operational at the moment, right? You're all good? I want to hit you with the disruptors real quick and see what's going on with that.
Shields up or down?
Take them down. Oh, you're overheating right now?
No.
I heard. Oh, it's my ship. Alright. Let me know when you're all clear.
Yeah, I'm ready. Whenever you want.
Alright, I want to just try to disable your ship, so I'm going to hit it with the EMP, then hit you with a couple disruptors. I want to see how long the time to shut you down is.
Okay.
Second, I'm going to give you a blast. And 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Tell me you got hit. Okay, that took you. Now, let me know when you're shut down.
What the fuck's going on? Oh, shoot me.
Can you move?
Who's off?
The screens are off, everything's off.
Okay, so it's like...
Shields are down. Oh shit, it's coming back up now.
Damn, that doesn't shut you down for any amount of time.
Yeah, I'm coming back up. They're not complete.
Is that an issue with the Sentinel, or is that an issue with all ships?
Well, what
I
issue?
want the Sentinel to be like more resistant to EMP because it is an EMP.
It's the military equipment makes you more resistant to the buildup of that stuff. You got military equipment on that ship? Because
It'd be
shut
shut
down,
down.
you're up.
Oh, I don't know, actually, it might be.
because you're up in a matter of seconds. That's supposed to leave you down for a little while.
Check. I can't remember where we are in this one.
It's probably set to default.
Mhm.
hits, possibly. I can't tell you, can I?
If you look at your systems, you can see if you have like the military generator or something like that, or shields. It's more about the generator.
The FR-76s.
Yeah, it sounds like you got military stuff on there. Yeah, it's versus the disruption a lot faster.
Yeah, I might have upgraded this, to be fair.
Yeah, it's got a higher health pool too.
Yeah, I think it is an upgrade. Most of them are upgraded. We're in the PU, aren't we? So.
I don't know if I have this thing fully upgraded with all the military engines and stuff. Let's see.
Oh, well, at least know to work it, so thank you for that, guys.
But it still seems like you gotta hit people with 2 EMPs to completely shut them off.
Either that or have damaged them in the first place, so that might be...
Yeah, so now we know why, and then I have a stealth drive on my ship, but what's my generator? So I see why the pirates chain EMP people.
Yeah.
Quadricell.
Two of you guys are military.
Was that?
Well, two of you, both going in EMP, and that would have just turned one off, wouldn't it?
I don't think the Menace has an EMP, I think it just has the Quantum Snare.
Alright.
That's what's special about Scorpius, it has a Quantum Snare and EMP, am I correct?
I'm dappering EMP, I think. I don't think it has a snare. I think the Mantis is still the only one with a snare.
I could have sworn it had.
I don't know. As I said, I'd like to see the snare in action and live, just to see, like, I've never been caught by one from another player. So, I'm not convinced it's actually worth anything.
It's hard. You have to stand at a point where you know where people come out of Quantum in their trade routes. Or in their Quantum lane, so you have to like line it up and just shoot out halfway and just sit there with the Quantum. Like let's say you left a mining facility to pick up a material, or you as a pirate will go to that mining facility that's popular, shoot to a trade destination, stop halfway, turn on your Quantum Snare and sit there. Hopefully somebody goes across your path.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just seems kind of
hard to pinpoint where you can snag somebody in a whole fucking universe.
Yeah, which was, from day one when they brought that thing out, that was like, everybody said, well, okay, this sounds really cool, but like, how large is the bubble? Because it'll have to be thousands of miles wide to set a trap between two planets, when you could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be like a range of like however wide you can pick up somebody, so you can at least scan and like see if you pulled somebody out of Quantum. You should get some kind of alert, like you've got a catch on your Quantum Snare, and then you have to go and scan and see where that person is.
Yeah.
Hurry up and get to them before they Quantum out. Oh, somebody just got a big boom.
Ghosty boy.
Ghost?
The doors weren't wanting to let me through, and then they decided to close on me when they finally opened.
Do that. Is he online? There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna land my hand with you.
Oh, man,
Jesus.
It's gonna tell you to get the hell out of there, I can tell you that.
Oh, I know, it's messing around.
Do it, I'll move forward. Oh,
that's okay. Are we going to test out anything else we wanted to mess with? I mean, it's gonna be gone pretty soon.
I wanted to test out the snare, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know.
I got an idea how to test it out.
Like, one person go to Aberdeen, the other person go to Hurston, or like the two of you, both of you go to Aberdeen, point towards Hurston, one person fly towards Hurston, quit early, set up the snare, the other one fly towards Hurston, same path. Or maybe choose a closer waypoint. Like, I'm not sure.
I mean, we could just stop it halfway and like whoever else is going to do the quantum jump and jump into the snare. We'll just be following the person with the snare.
Yeah.
Let them go to where they're going. You trace behind them.
Yeah, I just kind of want to see what it looks like when it goes off properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it works at all, because I've got my doubts.
How long do you have on that Mantis, Jigos?
4 minutes.
I drew something years ago, and now I can't find it, and I'm trying to remember where I stuffed it.
Alright, I don't know how I'm going to render gigantic anime breast within all this body armor. I gotta...
Really?
What?
Gigantic anime breasts? Really?
Look, there are Halo characters that people are drawing that I'm like, what? They're covered in armor. Why am I seeing TNA?
Yes, because it's just mandatory.
It's awful, but my eyes still like it. I know it's a way to rope me in.
At least you're honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I keep on catching these scenes from Atomic Heart, and people are like, "Oh my god, look at this! The creators knew what they were doing." And I go look at the clip, and it's just like, there's a scene in the game, they're like, dude, in the game, they're like, so these ballerinas, do they do anything else? Like, if you're asking if they're anatomically correct, then yeah, they are.
Oh my.
Yeah, they actually have human faces when you look beyond the mask.
I think they set up early in the game that they were going to make some indistinguishable ones. I guess those are them.
No idea.
That's
All I know is
that's another game on my wish list. I'll play it, but I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. I like it, but I'm not like hot to trot on it.
what's that? He's gonna give commies money.
Dude, I play DCS. I give commies money all the time.
No, you said they're Bohemian. I mean, what do you call them? The Bottislavsky and would you say the best whatever techs?
The what?
When you talk about the Eastern European software developers.
Oh, the best the best Bulgarian programmers that money can buy.
There's some shit like that, yeah.
Okay, I drew these years ago because I was trying to do something for Fox. I don't think he ever used them. Let me see if Discord will let me upload them. Let's see if I... Oh, wait, I can't actually look in that folder without... 1 second, let me stop the stream. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if I got it in clips and highlights. Did I put... Where did I put it?
I am back, gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, this was a PNG face that I did as I was trying to explain to, I think it was Fox or somebody I was trying to explain it to. It's
Can I get
basically just
another,
yeah, I think Figgy has it now.
Yep, I got it. Who needs a party invite?
1 minute. I'm loading. Sorry. Go ahead.
Evil. You drew those shibbies?
Yeah, I drew these years ago.
I'm watching the stream.
I was trying to explain something to Voltaire, and I think it was Fox at the time. Okay, so a PNG tuber, all you do is you have a active face and an inactive face. And how it's set up in Discord is when someone's talking, it uses the bright one, and when someone's not talking, it switches to the black one. And there's a whole way, like, you got to have like a whole bunch of Discord stuff working to make that work. But when you see some of these streamers, what they're doing is they're using Discord. They've got OBS up and all that, but they're actually streaming it through Discord so that they can use that little image swap trick. So when you see like there's 3 and 4 characters on screen, but half the characters aren't moving, and all they're doing is they're changing color. That's that. It's just basically an image with a transparency.
All right, I am in the game.
There's probably much better ways to do it now, but all right, come back to watch happen.
Feel free to send Doc an invite, Figgy.
Roger that. Coming up.
PNG tuber. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, like, for people that don't know how to make them, those models are stupidly expensive, and it's like you probably don't need one. You know? I think it's one of those things where people think like, oh, I'm gonna be a YouTuber and I'm gonna spend $10,000 on a model and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then you find out that they've got no personality and no following, you know? Which is how it
Yeah, I'm
goes.
going to use my real face. I think I still have to go get a decent camera and microphone, but yeah, I'm going to use my real face. It's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
ugly, so I think people will be like, "Oh wow, man, that's a real awesome critter face he's using. Where did he get that fucking one?"
Well, I mean,
Download it.
I think if there's one thing that brings out the actor in people, it's giving them a mask. And I think that's why a lot of people do the VTuber stuff, because it's just like liberating.
I don't want to say it, but I also feel like maybe it's a lack of confidence in their ugly looks. I love my ugly looks. I think everyone should suffer them. So
Well, no, some of them it's actually security. Some of them are real life voice actors, and they're like the one Demon Dice, the singer. That's Mori Calliope, and she's actually on contract with Hololive in Japan. You caught your wing there. So when she's in public, when she's doing stuff for Hololive, she has to use the caricature because she can't use her real life face due to the contract.
because her face is owned by a company, man, that sucks for her.
Well, no, her show
Wait.
is owned by a company. She was
Hey, Evil, check out.
Huh?
Check out the Mantis tutorial thing I posted.
Hold on. Let's see.
Why don't you paste the link in the was that whole thing where we all can view it?
We can. Hold on. Fight length. Mantis tutorial. Hold on. I gotta get the link.
Link.
Yep, the link linked. Alrighty, we are going to open up a shared event.
Supposed to have other sources open.
Hello,
up in here.
and welcome to a tutorial on how to properly position yourself.
All right, there is a video playing right now. A live event. I'm going to rewind it. On the count of 5, I'm going to start it. It's going to talk about the Mantis. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Come on, boy.
Hello,
I'm not that
and
stupid.
welcome to a tutorial on how to properly position yourself
Fair enough.
using an RSI Mantis and Star Citizen.
Fucking do it to you.
This will be a quick tutorial. This
Video
will be a quick
on how the
tutorial on how to
Mantis
set
work.
the Mantis to best
In the
interdict
bus.
players, whether they're coming back from mining runs or they're
I didn't
going
even
to
know about that
Rock's
website,
I
too.
have no idea what
With
I'm
all
doing.
that juicy
I figured I'd have
cargo,
missed you.
these are the perfect moments to ransom players, as they have something to lose, rather than simply logging out or self-destructing, without anything to worry about.
I've turned it off now.
To help
Wait for
accomplish
it.
this, I always use a helpful app created by the community members in DuelistPiracy.org. Credits to them for helping the piracy community and Star Citizen be the most
There's an
efficient it
app?
can be.
Yeah, I didn't know
First
about
off,
that one.
select the starting
shit.
position you believe would most likely have
What?
the most traffic coming to and fro. I often use Lyria to Arc L1 to
Time
interdict the miners
navigation
that are
app.
coming back from Quantanium halls.
Where do you
What?
see that?
What's that mean?
I also
Pretty
like
sure
the
to
Arc
bet.
L1 Wide Forest Station to ArcCorp route, as many players often use this route once they've refined their Quantanium. But feel free to scout out your own paths. Just make sure to always bring a friend, and make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew.
Where was the heads up, man?
Hold on, this looks
Ah.
interesting. What is What is this a video about?
That's a video about it. You want me to rewind it?
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
All right, rewind.
What? Who put it on you?
It's on a live
Hello,
event.
and welcome
Playing.
to a tutorial on how to properly position yourself using an RSI Mantis in Star Citizen. This will be a quick tutorial. This will be a quick tutorial on how to set up the Mantis to best interdict players, whether they're coming back from mining runs or they're going to drop off that juicy cargo. With all that juicy cargo, these are the perfect moments to ransom players, as they have something to lose, rather than simply logging out or self-destructing without anything to worry about. To help accomplish this, I always use a helpful app created by the community members in Dolus Piracy Org. Credits to them for helping the piracy community in Star Citizen be the most efficient it can be. First off, select the starting position you believe would most likely have the most traffic coming to and fro. I often use Lyria to Arc L1 to interdict the miners that are coming back from Quantanium halls.
Oh wow, this is fucking nuts, man.
I also like the Arc L1 Wide Forest Station to ArcCorp route, as many players often use this route once they've refined their Quantanium. But feel free to scout out your own paths. Just make sure to always bring a friend, and make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew.
Don't forget to get the app.
The shows come back up like some kind of cheat.
No, like Gladius coming in to try and kill him.
Okay. Hostile target came.
Hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Good luck.
Yeah, a Mantis is very, very susceptible to EM missiles when it's using its snare. So, whenever a light fighter shows up, they like to throw their EM missiles because essentially the snare increases the EM signature by a ton, as if like you're almost more than like using your quantum. And so those are just giant, juicy, like signs of an EM missile to come hit me. Which is why he's saying make sure you bring a friend, because
Yeah, well, the Mantis isn't much in a fight, which is
exactly.
Yeah, you flick a key at it and the engine falls off.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like, it's really hard to flare EM missiles regularly. Now add your snare, which is like spiking your EM signature.
Yeah,
Flaring those EM missiles you're gonna have to use like 6.
and then you're on a
I
slow
mean,
ship
they're
on top of everything
It's
else.
gonna change dynamically all the
Yeah.
time for flight for a while, I think. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but we're talking about like right now what it looks like. I mean, every patch is going to change, but like
yeah,
the problems that we have right now, if we bust it out right now, this is what'll happen to us. Which also lets you know if you want to take out a Mantis, fire an EM missile at it.
maybe
It makes his life more
maybe we
difficult.
practice dogfighting with C2s and A2s.
Which is why normally when I've seen groups use a Mantis, the Mantis pilot is trying to, because I'm pretty sure the snare distance is about 20k meters.
Okay.
So those Mantis players are trying to stay outside of 10, but within 20, because for most missiles, size 1, size 2, size 3 missiles, the max range is going to be about 10,000.
Right.
So normally there's a trio. You've got the Mantis player, you've got a live fighter directly protecting the Mantis player, and you have a second live fighter that's actually trying to keep the person in the fight.
Man, oh,
Okay, if you have a live event open, how do you reduce it so you can change the video? Weird.
That's a good question.
Then when you move your mouse, you'll get a thing to disconnect.
I can leave activity.
Yeah, leave it, and then everyone else leaves on their own accord.
But you can queue up multiple videos, is the thing.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, there's a button on the side of the screen that'll let you do all that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it.
Nope.
All I could do is leave and come back later.
Okay. You get like a red button with like an exit, leave activity.
But that's all I can do is leave. It's
Yeah.
like you can
Yeah,
queue
that-
up multiple videos, but once you start the video, you're stuck. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
don't
you
queue up to all
leave.
the
If other
videos-
people want to carry on, they carry on.
Right.
Think. So it's up to them once you start it, just because you go.
What's the next video? What are you guys looking for?
No, Ember's had some videos. I was gonna queue up the others, but the problem is I can't go out without. Once you queue up something, it starts. That's it. You got to queue up everything.
Oh. Also, I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but in the PTU 3.18, the arrow will have storage.
Oh, nice.
I understand all light fighters will.
Right
Yeah,
now,
they give you
in live right now, just only the Gladius does, but
Right.
the arrow is getting a 250k CSU storage.
Most fighters are going to get it when you go to the ladder.
Embers.
If they don't have a storage box, you'll go to the ladder. It'll say open in internal, internal storage or external storage.
What videos are you trying to share?
There were other videos in the training area. I'm trying to figure out how to minimize this big window. We're in the watch together. How do I
No.
turn the watch together?
which
back
one?
to- Hold on. All right, everybody out of the watch together. Now, when you're in the watch together and you
Like, you add them like that?
once I click play, they all get
First
stuck
setting
on
going
the
over is camera spring movement. Now this is not an important feature, but if you'd like to record videos,
The hand side of the screen.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the little chevron. I kept looking at the right and the left. I didn't see that little marker there.
The next setting we're going to be going over is coupled mode toggle. Learning to fly coupled and decoupled are both extremely important. And to be able to switch between the two, you have to have this option enabled, or your hotkey will not function. To get the most out of your ship and Star Citizen, you have to have G-Safe disabled. Anytime you change direction, accelerate, or decelerate, your craft will experience G-forces. Having G-force on will limit the amount of thrust you can put in any direction, limiting your G-forces. Overall, your pilot can handle more G-forces than the computer tries to account for. So it's better to have this option disabled if you want to get the most out of your craft. You also want to make sure that G-Safe is disabled while you boost, for the same reasons as explained prior. One of the most features by a lot of new players is Space Break Engage's boost. This is actually a very feature. If you ever want to apply boost to your space break, you can do it manually. Forcing boost to be activated every time you use space break can be detrimental in combat, as it increases the time before your boost is able to recharge, and it also uses boost in moments that you don't really need it during combat. I've covered ESP in more detail in one of my other videos, which I'll link in the description box for you, along with a playlist to more of my tutorials. That said, there's a general setting that is a good start for most players. We're going to be setting degrees to about 7.8 and sensitivity to about 1.32. Learning to move your craft around the verse is one of the primary things we all have to learn. A tool that's very helpful in this is
So to be out on quantum range or compresses, fire the snare.
center of your screen. We're going to change the setting so that it's always visible to us. This is to help with confusion as you're learning to use the velocity indicator in the game. This is a minor setting for you criminal scum and bounty hunters that love targeting people on the ground. Make sure to set your weapon convergence to 100 meters. This is the point at which your lasers meet. Since infantry are the only thing you can't lock onto and are only usually visible within 100 meters, there's no point of having this number any higher, as anything you lock on will have auto-convergence. The next is a collection of important targeting settings. While most of these are self-explanatory, I want to go over two of them. One is ship trail. It is a line that draws direction of travel.
Just using this time to set up my streaming stuff.
Relative idea in which
Yeah, same.
moving. Next is lead versus lag pip. Trust me, the reason you're missing shots is not because you're using lead lag, but rather because you still have yet to develop a fundamental understanding of how movement is affecting your aim. This is why I recommend lead. The lead pip is a perfect tool to help you understand in what direction ships are moving, and how your inputs are impacting your aim. This is a bit of a complicated topic, and there's more to touch on this. But I've made a tutorial on this already, and they're both listed in the previous tutorial mentioned in the description box. Just look for the video labeled Mastery and Dance. I highly recommend starting in order with dancing. The final settings we're going to be covering in game settings has to do with head movement. During combat, you don't want your character moving his head around as you're trying to target another ship. For this, we're going to disable all look-ahead options. While you can lower all the sliders to zero to make you feel more comfortable, it doesn't matter. As long as you set to no for each category, you will be fine. At the very bottom, you will also find very important options. Make sure to set to zero, as these also induce movement when unneeded in combat. These last ones are kind of self-explanatory, so I won't be going over them. But they give you more information on your target and allies in general. That's it for game settings. Now let's move on to graphic settings. Gamma, brightness, and contrast. Now these don't really work the same as they would in other games in Star Citizen, except for Gamma. For the best possible colors, leave your contrast and brightness alone, but change your Gamma as required by your monitor. If you want to get the most out of the colors in Star Citizen, you'll have to look into a program called Reshade. I've linked it below in the description as well. For quality, this is going to depend on your graphics card. I highly recommend starting with high, as high actually works better than low on graphics cards. That said, if you're on the lower GPU scale, low will probably work best for you. No matter what card you have, though, scattered object distance and tessellation should be kept as low, as they introduce even more CPU power requirement, which is a high commodity in Star Citizen, and offer very little visual improvement. These last bit of settings, including FOV, can help frames if you're really on the low end and struggling with frames in Star Citizen. While FOV won't do much, it actually does matter for lower end players. The same goes for sharpening, chromatic aberration, motion blur, and film grain. And make sure to always have VSync disabled. Now let's move on to audio settings. Everything in here is preference-based except for one option, and that is audio-driven camera shake. This is another one of those pesky settings that moves your vision around without you wanting it to move when you're in combat. Our final settings are comms, VoIP, and head tracking. If you ever feel like yelling at somebody in game, make sure to have your proper mic selected in the audio settings. Aside from this, there's head tracking, and a lot of options here for you to navigate. This is something I highly encourage if you have head tracking software like Tobii Eye Tracker. If you're using Track IR, I highly recommend using your internal software. Though in here there are two settings that you have to have active so that your head tracking works. First you have to select IR or Tobii, and then make sure that the toggle function is enabled so that you can turn on and off your head tracking. That's it for this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Key bindings are one of the most important things in Star Citizen. While you don't have to copy other people's key bindings one-to-one, there are certain aspects that need to be maintained with every key binding. Today, I'm going to teach you what those aspects are. We're going to cover all the way from mouse and keyboard to dual sticks and pedals. Make sure
step away for a second.
Below, so that you can find the places in this tutorial that apply to you. And always check my description as I have further information that contains to the video with updates and news. First, let's go into a timeline of the best possible upgrades that you can do gradually over time. The first thing you should get if you don't already have is a mouse with buttons on the side. This is going to be later, but in general, it will give you more options with any game that you play. The second upgrade would be a left-handed joystick. While many people recommend you jump to dual stick, I think it's much more efficient to just get a left-handed stick first if you're low on budget. Not only is it the most financially easy path to take, but this is actually one of the best competitive setups in the game, as mouse offers incredible control and precision.
Agent, are you here? I mean, Advent.
Reliability and control. Another really great alternative
he's just here.
is to skip stick and go straight for a pedal.
Advent?
Now, if you do this, I highly recommend getting a flight pedal. Something that allows you to shift the pedals
All right, never mind.
brakes to tilt the pedals.
Who was this
Having
here?
pedals with mouse and keyboard will allow you to define tuning on your aim and movement, keeping the fast inputs straight on your keyboard and the high precision aim on your mouse.
I need to find some pedals because I've been finding that I know in DCS the twist rotation on the joystick it works,
then the only other option would be going
but it still wears my hand out and it's not as accurate. And I'm wondering if it's the same thing in Star Citizen, like having more swing makes it easier to aim the nose and the yaw.
Let's go over dual stick configuration.
Well, it's more of having, because right now we're doing have your yaw twist.
I just have the one joystick and the yaw's on the twist, yeah.
Yeah. You get like dual sticks and pedals. You can your pitch and yaw will be on your right, and then your strafe will be on your left, and then the roll will be the twist on the left, and then your forward and back will be on like pedals.
I mean, if I got pedals,
they're not that big.
honestly, I would use my pedals for yaw because that's what I need for the helicopters in DCS.
Later, as it has to do a lot with key bindings.
And I would keep the. I don't know what I'd use for the twister on the joystick. I might use that for something else.
That said, from an immersion standpoint, pedals are also a must. The
thing is that, like, with helicopters in DCS, there's no crim lock for the pedal, so you just hold the pedal where you want permanently. You know, small movements. It's not used to aim as much. Whereas in Star Citizen, you'd be using it to aim. And I don't know if I'd use
flight pedals.
I guess I'll just try it and like see how it feels.
That's how I have mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that varies. I think Star Citizen you can use more your pitch aim than your yaw.
Yeah, but you're still using
Straight well with light fighters at least.
Most a lot of people like the pedal like PvP community and Star Citizen, like a lot of top pilots. That's how they have it.
Back straight at the control of your feet. This will open up your hands for better aim and control of your flight. Now that we've covered controls, let's go over key bindings. I want to start by the most important binding.
Could you just cut off test?
No.
That was it. I'm here.
Yeah, we're just kind of chilling right now. We covered pretty much everything I had to cover. We're just playing with the ships and then we started watching videos.
I want one of those panels for all the buttons and switches and shit.
Like one of the cockpit panels?
Yeah, it costs like $200 by itself. Not bad.
Yeah. Go check out Wing. The cheaper there.
Right, that's one of the cheaper ones. That's actually pretty good quality. That's actually decent quality.
High quality though. Like EKB almost.
You said Wing?
Wing. Wing. One word.
Yeah.
British company. It's like a British version of Purple.
Gotcha.
Cheaper, not a communist company.
Down for extended periods of time, depending on what's required. Having a configuration of WSAD for strafe makes it much easier to use actions. We're not going to do much to the mouse.
Wait, are they looking at the new version first? No, there's no way.
This is subjective, so it's really...
Yeah, it is the old version.
Remember, you can find one of these buttons on your mouse. Just something to keep in mind.
I'm just not used to flying around because of the kill zone used to have. And then you can fly around all this stuff now.
Keyboard, I recommend using pedals for your roll.
Have they gotten rid of like the overhead grid entirely? Is it like Babbage, or is it like you just get closer?
Dude, you can get very close to everything down there now. At the moment, it will if you get very close, like you're about to land, it'll send you back. But I think they're opening it up for when people they put it in new Lorville, and you can just go everywhere.
That's I'm kind of hoping that they do it like Babbage, where there's just no grid. Because
yeah.
Nice looking city, and I don't see a reason. The only spot they have to protect is the spot right there by the apartments, because that's the only spot where you could land in the city and be a menace.
Yeah.
You do the same thing in Babbage. You just protect that little one area and everything else is free range.
I mean, honestly, I think just have missile turrets all over the fucking city. Rain down scrap on people.
Once you bind, go ahead and give it a try. If it feels weird,
oh, beautiful buildings. What are those gun pods?
Most of you would be fine with just inverting the y-axis.
I mean, they got them all over the place in Orison. Just slap them under the buildings in Microtech.
Having roll or speed on your right twist will be detrimental to you.
They also fire rockets at you too.
That is responsible for aiming.
Not missiles, fucking rockets.
Now let's cover the left. On the left,
Head out for a bit.
Alright.
we want strafe left and
Bye bye.
axis.
Later.
Shifting it left to the right, and we want strafe up and
Oh, that's the
down on the
constellation.
y-axis, which is shifting it forward and bend
Yeah, I
back.
need a desk mount like that. Right now mine's just sitting on the desk.
Here again. It is possible to y-axis inverted. This is something
You got tools to make some temporary mounts out of wood.
twist or your z-axis. We're going to apply roll. The final thing we have to bind is our forward and rear.
I saved two metal brackets off my old gaming chair. I was like, dude, these things are like angled perfectly. I was like, I'll just use these and bore into it. And they slide up and down.
That I've been eyeing that to do a whole bunch of stuff with. I guess I'm not gonna bother with it now, but I got it like $20 like a year ago. They had it mispriced, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll take two. I didn't have any projects for them. I just shoved them in the workshop, and I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it. When I need plywood, I got it cheap.
Speed, but in combat, you usually need either full speed forward
Ah, they found this pinky switch.
There usually isn't in between. For landings, you might want
Okay, guys, I need to get going. I gotta do some other stuff. Can I pass it over to somebody else, or who's here? Because I mean, I'm just sitting here and nobody's doing anything. So I'm gonna either disband it, and then you guys can do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, we're just watching videos and like going over what we just did.
That's
I think it's more like going the motion right now to
pass it to Doc for right now.
keep us in the groove of doing routine.
Well, tomorrow we're gonna do a PvP event, and so we're gonna actually go and shoot each other.
All right.
Today, this is like the last practical for the ships. It's just the equipment stuff.
Yep.
I was gonna try to wrap it in last week, but there was like a little too much to actually.
Obviously, that happened that kind of interfered with the execution and the training this weekend. We'll keep going through the motions this weekend, and next weekend it's just
Well, we gotta get back to normal, not just going through the motions, but like full normal operations. So
yes,
we're
okay.
gonna start loading up. I just right now, the thing that's hindering me is Star Citizen's not launching at 3.18 patch, and my computer is not liking the PTU. So
no worries. Like I said, I can take a more active role and administrative role in helping with the ground side of training or part of the ground side of training.
Yep. Tomorrow, we're just gonna do like a little deathmatch thing.
I think you'll see people doing it as well. Like Grafton is probably when he has time, he probably will help. And
the Sunday schedule, is that happening too late in the day, or because that's what we've always been doing it is the same time.
I'm back.
But you should ask and Europeans that Sophia and James ask them if it's too late. It's kind of perfect for me, but like it could be too late for them.
What's that? Sunday.
Sunday schedule is too late in the day, guys.
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll that if everybody needs to, depending.
No, I don't want to. If it's working, I don't want to change it. But
are you okay? I mean, it's everybody else.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna be real, right? So today I've actually had a training already with ground forces and some had B-Rabbit. He actually prepared a full PowerPoint training on ground forces. And I took him and four other guys down, and we did this actual training in the PU earlier today because I wanted to see. He wanted to create a training. So I said, okay, show me what you got. So he created an entire PowerPoint, went through the entire trouble. He gave us a brief. We went down, we executed it. It was fucking amazing. Right? That's the kind of training I'm talking about. But then I had all the other guys that are not part of this main core that we got going on here. The other guys showed up at the right time for their air training, ready to go. But I took that time to explain to them what we were doing so that they're aware because I've got to clear the air of what's going on. There's too many people that don't know what's going on. So I'm slowly trying to get the other guys to understand what we're doing. And I told them, I said, you know what, let's forego the training today because I got the feeling that, and from what they were saying, they did not want to come over here to this Discord. So I was not going to push the idea, and I said, let's forego it today. I spent enough time explaining what the situation was. So my whole idea is I came here to participate in the training. So I've been flying around there, but we didn't really do anything. So we need to polish that up. We need to have official training, and we got to do it. We need to meet. Unless if we don't do that, it's not going to work. I'm just being real here.
The first part when we started up, we were going over use of EMP, use of missiles, notching, evasion tactics, those things. I believe James was here for that. And then we went into the ships to play around with those systems, and that's what we're wrapping up now. That's when you showed up. So we were just playing with those systems we were just talking about. This was not a combat training. This was a systems tutorial. We had several members that weren't familiar with how EMP worked, the effective ranges, what you can do with it. We had one player that didn't even know how to turn the thing on. So you got to go through the steps of orientation with it. As far as playing with it, in a combat environment, that's what the guys were doing, was they were just tinkering around. I have, 6 people here trying to cover for that. I'm not going to make excuses for not having a full tutorial.
Right, no, it's fine. I don't need an excuse. I just, we got to do what we need to do.
Yeah, we are still doing trainings, and if we're going to split the trainings across 2 different Discords, it's going to be really difficult. I know B Rabbit is very hardcore about the ground stuff. He didn't want to do the diamond formation. He wanted to do more military stuff and get into higher detail.
Well, I'm going to take care of him, and I'm going to be using him more on the core side at this point. Because he's also one of those guys that are not really keen on trying to do this breakaway thing. So I mean, he's a recruit, so he's kind of moldable, but I'm going to keep that on the other side for now.
All right. I mean, like I said, but ultimately, if Strike Force is going to be independent, we want to funnel our resources onto the Discord that we control. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to end up with a similar situation down the road where other orgs are going to be telling us what to do.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to tell us what to do. You now have an independent Discord that we can use that we have full control over. No one's going to tell us what to do at this point.
Right.
Okay. That's just the way it is. Now, what I do with the Strike Force on the other end, that's on my end. Because I'm not letting that go, and I'll participate in here. We want to do with this endeavor, but that's my thing on the other side. That's just letting you guys know that.
Well, that's going to be a conflict of interest.
So the way I see it right now, we're all here ready to put our energy into moving forward, whatever we got right now here. We're not so much concerned about the Force now. We had a discussion about it. We don't want to be seen as people poaching from there and whatnot. If there's no one there that wants to come with us right now, that's fine. Like they know the situation, and everyone's praised of it, then that's all right. They made their choice. I think going forward, we will resume as we were, and we'll just do the best we can. We're going to figure out new ways to fill in the holes that we got, and we're going to use the material and the knowledge, experience that we got. We might, we're making a new thing, basically, like you say, rebranding and whatnot. We're moving forward with this.
And like Evil was saying earlier, it isn't a them or us situation. Like you're allowed to be in multiple orgs.
You're allowed to be in multiple orgs, but like I said, if you were, working with one to do things, and you're working with another to do things, and then when it comes for time distribution, you're spending all of your time with the other org when the org that you're trying to join is doing stuff. If we are doing trainings and we are split across 2 Discords and we have 2 different trainings and half the members aren't talking to each other, it's not going
that's like they can come to our Discord for training and stuff. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't mean they're not in cover still. We still have collaboration with them. We still accept cover force members to come and join our training if they want to. Like we none of that changes. It's just Now, I think we just need to make sure they're clear on that. They're not coming to this server and take notes. No, it's just we're now a separate entity, but we still do things with them. So you're this.
Okay. I get that, but let me explain something. I just had a meeting with the guys over there. And I was talking to them, explaining the situation, trying to tear it out, so people understand what's going on here, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. But the feeling that I got from the guys over there, they do not want to come over here. They want to stay in the Cobra Force. Their whole idea and purpose was to protect Cobra and the Cobra Force. They do not want to expand and come out. They do not want to be a part of another enter any other Discord. So this is the problem that we're facing now. And I'm trying to figure out what is the best course of action. But I think the lines in the sand are going to be drawn, and you can't force people to go either way. They don't want to come over here. You can't force them to come. That's the problem.
That's literally what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, it's
We're
not
not forcing them. Hold on. We're not
I don't.
forcing them to leave Cobra Force any more than when members went to practice with the FFA, and some of them joined the FFA, and they were still in Strike Force, and they were still in Cobra Force. They are not forced to leave Cobra Force to attend Force on another server. The issue that I have is that they're going to be over there attending their own courses, not integrating with the main body of Strike Force because they don't want to leave Cobra Force, and I think that is the wrong impression. And like I said, I think it needs time for us to sort that out. So I'm not going to I don't think we should make a major bone of it right now.
No, I agree.
Understood that, you are not leaving Cobra Force to go to another Discord to do things over there. When we do operations, military stuff with other groups, we will have members that have to go over there, just like we went to FFA, just like we went to Daymar, just like we went to Skunks when they were up. You will have to go to other Discords to execute your duties. If you don't want to leave the Cobra Force Discord under any condition,
the situation is a little bit different with us right now, because it's like going to the Daymar rally. That was another org, but we all went over there under the Cobra Force flag.
Right.
That's the difference.
So let me ask this question: Are we still Cobra Strike Force, or are we Strike Force?
We're not. Either.
That's the first question that needs to be answered. Are we Cobra Strike Force in a separate Discord, or are we Strike Force?
Well, if it's up, from my perspective, I want to keep everything exactly the same way it is, but I'm giving us a separate Discord so that we can run our operations without the fear of anybody coming down on us and making decisions for us. But I want to continue the same operations that we do for the Cobra Force. Now, I'm open to suggestions for other concerns and things like that. But if we're going to do something completely different, then perhaps this new org that we're creating needs to be 100% independent and break away from Cobra Force altogether. But you guys need to figure out what you want to do. Me? I'm never going to leave.
Before we have that, we don't need to have that discussion right now. I don't think that should happen right now. That's just a question to think on. However, if I don't get this whole second Discord, if we're still going to have ties to Cobra and still be considered Cobra Force with our quote-unquote own Discord. I think a lot of people came over here thinking we were already going to be 100% independent.
That's the thing. I think that's what the majority of people that came over here were expecting that this was going to be completely 100% separate.
And was that the initial intent of this, or was this only built just to have our own space from the Discord from Cobra?
And this is the question that needs to be cleared up, because there are some of us, like myself, that wanted to continue with the Cobra Force. However, because of current events, we created this so that we have a safety net, and this is our area. No one can tell us what to do in these sections. So it ensures our authority and what we do, and no one can change that. But there are also others that I know wants to be completely separate and create their own org, which is fine also. But we need to figure out what it is that we want to make here at this point. We have to decide now.
So what we were talking about, like I said earlier, was being independent of Cobra Force, free to do and associate with who we please, handling our own discipline, handling our own structure without their say so. And that's why we had to find another Discord, because if we're in their Discord and they decide to go after a member, we're going to be back in conflict with them. So being independent prevents that conflict. So, we are still tied to them legacy wise, but I think that we have to be independent of their command and their structure. Otherwise, we're just paying for our own server and waiting for them to say, oh no, we don't want you to use Cobra Force iconography, and for them to force it. And I think we'd rather be independent, working with them, than be tied to them with them holding something over us again.
But the problem is they never held anything over us. The problem is that this particular instance, because we were under the purview of Cobra Force or Cobra TV, because that's not the Cobra Force. Cobra TV is the Discord. We're talking about the Discord itself, right? We were under their purview, and what had happened was there was a question about what was said in a certain conversation, whether or not it broke certain, I don't know if you want to call it legalities or terms of service, or whatever the hell it is. But somebody had an issue with what happened, and it blew up. Whether it was 100% true or justified, it doesn't matter because it's over, it's done with, right? But the question is that
where I have a specific issue, right, is we have an established chain of command. We have our rules and regs. We have our ways of dealing with issues. The one message that I got when that decision was made, and it was from Cobra, was that a decision was made, and then after they have banned him, we can execute, whatever punishment we want. They recognized that we had a separate chain of command, and we were semi-independent in that we could make our own decisions. They just ignored it and went ahead and did what they wanted to do anyway.
Well, here's the thing. What I would have done in this case, if I was told beforehand, before this went down, is I would have went to the admins and I would have told them. I said, since he is one of mine, put him into my charge, and I will try him according to our laws and what we have established. But I didn't get the opportunity to do that because he wasn't one of mine.
You should have needed that opportunity.
They should have, because in the email, they recognized that you had the authority. They just overruled your authority and then handed you the scraps to do whatever you want to do after they were done. They knew that there was a chain of command.
And essentially, they try to treat it as like, oh, well, we put our punishment, so now you can have you guys punishment. And that doesn't mean anything because if he's not in the Discord, he might as well been kicked out of Strike Force as well. Because that's where the Strike Force is.
So then I have to go into a training on the weekend, and one of my squad leaders cannot attend the Discord, and we have no say in the matter. And that's why we're here, and why we have to have that independence to make sure that this cannot happen again. And working with them, if they're not going to recognize our sovereignty in areas where it matters, is setting us up for another problem. Because I can tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have this sister chapter. You're going to develop these guys. I know B Rabbit. He's very good at what he does. I know some of these other guys. They're very proactive. They want to be part of Cobra Force. Cobra Force is chaotic. An incident will come up, and they will overrule you again. This is my prediction. I hope I am
wrong.
Well,
I can't say what happened in the future or not, but it should have come to me first, and we know that.
Yes.
Because it would have totally different outcome if it would have been presented to me first.
I agree with that. This incident should have been handled by Strike Force. We have our chain of command. We have our rules. It should have been handed to us and them asking us what to do, and that would have shielded Cobra from criticism and kept it from becoming what it was.
And this is why we created this. We have separate Discord so that we become an external entity, so to speak. However, we're still doing the same job, so it gives us some sovereignty as an independent org. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do.
Well,
I think the
it
misunderstanding is it's not
depends.
some sovereignty, it's total sovereignty because we have total say over here. They have no say who the membership is over here. They have no say at all. It's not some sovereignty. It is total sovereignty.
That's the context is we have our own Discord. So we're obviously on our own space and we can control how things are run. But if we're still going to keep to what was before, meaning we still have Cobra Strike Force, then we still have ties to Cobra in the sense of, well, we're still a Strike Force for Cobra TV, meaning do they still have power over us in other ways? Granted, sure, they can't do anything to us per se in this Discord.
Yeah, I mean, they can tell us how they want us to interact with them, if that's the case. But they don't want our services anymore, then we leave. I mean, but that's why we're creating this separate org channel, so that way, our plans right now is not to only work with Cobra Force, we want to work with other orgs too. Right? So we're trying to build a relationship with other orgs and be like a centerpiece where we can farm out either to train or provide escort services or things like that to various other orgs, have affiliations with multiple orgs. Not just Cobra Force.
So I'll ask it this way. I'll ask it this way. Are we a branch of Cobra TV, or are we our own entity and Cobra TV is a customer?
Well, right. Okay. So the problem is we just did this, so we don't really have. It's not one way or the other right now because we're trying to create and establish ourselves. Currently, right now, according to Cobra Force, Strike Force is still in place the way it was. Nobody knows what's going on because we haven't told them anything yet. Nobody knows other than the people that I've actually talked to that we've actually got our own separate Discord now. Nobody knows that except key people that are here now, and I'm starting to talk to individual guys who are part of Strike Force, but are more towards the Cobra Force side of the house.
Okay, so
that's everything's not known yet.
So that discussion needs to happen in the decision we make.
So how about this? Let us set a date for a staff meeting, a general membership staff meeting that we can get together, iron this out. Like I said, give it some time for things to settle down. Let everybody know that, we're trying to restructure, reorganize, whatever you want to call it, to clear this up so that there's no misunderstanding. General staff meeting, we're going to go over how we want to structure ourselves, how we want to associate.
I think all hands meetings.
All hands. Okay, sorry. How we want to structure ourselves, how we want to associate with other orgs, and how we deal with membership as they are working with other orgs. Because I understand that, these guys, they want to be with Cobra Force, but at the end of the day, if they want to be in the Cobra Force, they are in the Cobra Force. This is sudden. Nobody knows what's going on yet. We do have to clear up a lot of things, a lot of misunderstandings, and get ourselves straightened out as exactly what we are, what we're doing, and what our status, our relationship is with other groups. But the purpose of being on an independent server is we are taking control of our sovereignty, and we were taking responsibility for the actions of our members so that if anything happens, we decide how it goes down, right?
Me personally, I think we're going to do it this way. Then what we're doing now with the org, our separate org, we need to be a separate org completely. Right? And those that want to stay in Cobra Force need to stay in Cobra Force with. I mean, there's still going to be a contingency. Okay, so there's still going to be a contingency of a Strike Force. The title Strike Force. It'll be Cobra Strike Force. In there, that's part of that group. And then the next group, another org might be called something else. Who knows? Right? Whatever they decide will work out with.
We can't stop them from having their own Strike Force and doing their own thing their own way, right? As if we're saying that we're independent, our structures are independent. We don't have direct say over what they do. They don't have direct say over what we do. We can organize and work together as customer and as a client among other clients. But
orgs working together in general.
Orgs working together. So, but like I said, at the end of the day, my fear is that you have Strike Force over there doing things, something goes wrong, and then they're going to not treat them with the respect that Strike Force members deserve. And if they are working under Strike Force, it is on us to guard our membership from arbitrary.
Yeah, but you understand if we're a separate entity at this point, if we're a separate entity at this point, their little mini strike force team over there is not technically a part of this sovereign org that is being created now. That's different.
Yes.
There's a separation there.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. We need to, as I said, establish ourselves, what we're doing. Put pen to paper, make that clear. Go to them and let them know, okay, this is what's going to go down. This is how we're going to handle it. And then give them time to decide how they want to handle how their interactions with us. Because like I said, I have no problem with our membership going over there to play. I have no problem with working with Cobra Force as a client. We do have associations over there. We have friends over there. I have people I'd like to go back and talk to someday when all this thing is all sorted out. But at the same time, those members that choose to be with Cobra Force, we can't protect them. And it's hard to train them. It's like, they have a fantastic training, but not all the members can attend because of, that wall. So let's do a staff meeting, iron out what it is we're doing, straighten that out.
All hands meeting.
All hands meeting, straighten out what our status is, get that straightened out with Fox and Cobra and them, and then figure out how we're going to incorporate these guys, or whether they don't want to be incorporated once we have laid it straight what we're doing, so that there's no, because I don't want them to be over there and like something goes down, or let's say, we do something and they get blamed, or they do something and we get blamed, and then we can't help them, and then they're getting hated on for something that they have no control over. So, because I do not like that gap. If they don't want to associate with this server and then we can't help them, it's like, I think it's going to create issues. So,
It's just like I said. This particular case now that we have, it's unique because we came from Cobra Force. We're breaking away, so to speak, at the moment. Right? This would not happen with this org. We're the first group to do it. So the Cobra Strike Force, we came from there. So we're
Cobra Force.
Yeah, I don't think we're the first to break off.
I don't know anything about them, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Rats did it for Desert Rat thing did it, and there was another group that did it for that. I can't remember that.
Wasn't there a mining group that broke off earlier before Gunlover took over? There were that anyway. Yeah. So I think I agree. Let's.
The whole point is that the Cobra Strike Force, as it stands, will become its own entity, so to speak. Right? Because you guys here as the new org, the new Strike Force, right? That's going to become the mercenary group that does this affiliation, multiple orgs, and do your separate thing completely on your own, and nobody can tell you anything. But each individual org that you approach and we start this affiliation with, they're going to have their own security team that's going to be working with us. All right? So in the Cobra Force, it just so happens that it's called Cobra Strike Force because we started there. So us breaking away, we started there. So the name is going to be similar. It's just the way it is, just how it is right now. But then the next org that you go to, they're going to have their own, whatever they want to call their goddamn team. Right? Their security team. But their security team is going to work with us. We train them, we help them out, we teach them, or however that is, whoever's the liaison for that org. Right? We're going to have whoever's the contractor for that org. And he's responsible for the...
I think you are forgetting though that org-wise, Cobra ran a relatively unique org. Like most orgs tend to focus on something like Walker's Sigma is their security force and TMC force. That's what they do. Like sure, some of them probably do other stuff. For the most part, that's what they do. There's a lot. Most orgs are like we do trading, and that's all they do. With the exception of like the really large orgs that actually have the numbers to truly have multiple divisions. Right now, most orgs tend to focus on one thing.
Sure. I totally get that. That's 100%.
Yeah, so I just the whole franchise thing, like talking about it, I don't Ultimately, I don't know really how well that would work. Like you said, most orgs are either have a security or they will need security, because they won't have a security department, or that's all they do. Is kind of what we'll probably run into more often than not.
Well, it's kind of like the other org that we work with. We've played with. They're called the Free People's Union. They didn't have a. They were not a military. They were like industrial miners, traders. They obviously had to know how to fight. But
guys ended up breaking off because of a reason. Now they're a different org that we just last mayhem with.
No, what happened was Murphy Jack was the leader of that team. And he told me that they had some difference of opinions or whatnot, and then they broke off and they became, now they are the, let me look here real quick. They are now called, Red Scar Nomads. That's the new org that they've aligned themselves with. And they are a tribe of nomads. They're not really military. They take themselves as tribal, and they kind of move around. And that's if you go to their webpage, and I can give that to you, but you can read about it. It says, well, I'm not going to read too much to read, but they're a tribal clan, and they travel in packs, and that's how they treat this whole thing. Kind of like gypsies is what this org seems to be like.
So, I mean, even if we like. There's always something to do with another security team. Like, we don't. Obviously,
I would say that a lot of orgs might not be able to do the whole franchise thing.
Yeah, of course. Like,
Whoever wants it.
Yeah, and it's if we foster relations with another security team, we can I would call them like war games. We can have war games with another security team that like just have these joint training exercises.
Walker's is Sigma. I mean, I got their Discord, and they'd be down to do things with us.
Walker's the Sigma's part of the Day My Rally. They're awesome. I mean, they're pretty good.
And these war games are just PvP events where you're just like, hey, let PvP event 1. There's you have this guy here that you need to extract, and this team is going to protect them, and you gotta kill them and extract this person. That's war game number one. There's tons of different PvP scenarios that you can do with other security teams to better each other.
Right. But all I'm saying is that I think in the end, what we're trying to create here is an 100% independent. I mean, I know we're trying to sugarcoat the shit. Because we still have some loyalties back to where we came from, and we never forget where you come from. But we're trying to sugarcoat it a little bit to make it sound better, right? But in essence, what you're asking for is to become your own org, completely, 100%. So it's what you're asking for.
I think we should absolutely keep our connection to Cover Force too.
Oh yeah. Just because
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
keep that connection.
We like I guess you said something about them not getting the wrong impression. Well, what would be the wrong impression?
Well, right now, the only thing I can think of right now is that it depends on how we approach it. If we approach it incorrectly, they could view it as us trying to milk the Cobra Force for recruits to do our stuff here. That's how I see it.
Even if you do it properly, I think they will view that. They never had a high opinion of Strike Force to begin with. Someone is going to jump on the opportunity.
Wait a minute.
It's not necessarily today, but there are you select individuals whose voices carry weight that way.
They will jump on that as ammunition for sure, right off the bat, as soon as they catch wind.
I mean, sometimes the direct approach is sometimes the best approach. I mean, we just lay it down like, hey, we are splitting away from Cobra TV, and we are going to be our own independent org. We would still like to have relations and still work with Cobra Force and Cobra TV, but we are going to be our own entity from now on.
Right. You gotta be careful. You can't twist it around the shit. You gotta do it. You gotta do it all the way, or don't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the best approach to this is not trying to sugarcoat it. Just tell them how it is. We're becoming independent. We're no longer a Cobra Strike Force. We're our own. Whatever name it comes up, whatever name we go by. This is what we are. This is our own independent org. But however, we would still like to have interaction relations with you guys, and the miners in there. Like, we still love to help the miners for security if that's what they still desire and stuff like that. Just because
we can even actually get paid to offer our protective services to Cobra now.
Well, what I was saying before was because I don't want to leave Cobra Force, and I still want to stay there because my own reasons. That's what I want to do. Right. I was going to be the liaison to the Cobra Force, right? To our team over here. Right, and that's fine because I want to do that. I don't want to 100% break away from them at all either.
Yeah.
And I can keep that relation going between what we want to create now and what we had before. So it's just,
and that's fine. And as long as their rules don't specifically say that you can't be more than one. You can't be in more than one.
They don't care about that.
Exactly. So like. By their own rules, and I'm sure by our rules, as long as being in other orgs is fine, then they shouldn't have a problem with it. The keyword shouldn't. Like I said, we cannot control how they interpret what we tell them. Even if go ahead.
No, sorry. Worst case scenario. If it takes to the point where, because I want to do this for the Cobra Force side, and I also want to be in this team too, because I like the idea in which way it's going, because I kind of, that whole mercenary, the whole idea, I like that too. I want to do that. It sounds really nice and a lot of fun. But if it takes to where we need to separate out and then we nominate somebody else to take charge of this side of the house, then if that's the betterment of the situation, then that's the way we do it. But we have to make sure we do it right, and that both sides have what you want, but we're still working together, right? That's the best way to do that.
Yep.
I mean, I have no issues. Either way, I want both teams to be successful. I want us all to work this shit out. Because this shit blew up, this has been driving me nuts. I haven't been sleeping well because I'm worried about what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I get both guys? How do I facilitate everybody's wants on this side, their wants on that side? How do I make them come together? So it's tough. But we need to figure this out, and I think this is what we got to do. We completely make this team separate, 100%, but we have affiliation with Cobra Force, have somebody who's in charge of Cobra Force, which is probably the best to do would be me, and then we can liaison back and forth, and then we'll progress on forward with other orgs as we see fit. But we have to start somewhere, because then at some point I'm going to have to meet Cobra and say, okay, this is it. The main body of the team here, the Dutch Strike Force, is now independent. And we are willing to do this
and give me the ability to do my job.
Right. So that's I'm going to have that conversation. Before I do that, I need all of us in here to have the right direction and nail down what you want to do. And then I'm going to present that and say, this is how it's going to work.
Should Strike Force handles embassy. Strike Force embassy.
Yeah, something like that. We may have to change the name as well, just so that it's fully understood that it's different, right? You can't continue to keep the Strike Force name if that's the case. Be 100% independent, whatever name you want to create for it, it's fine. But we have to have clear lines, otherwise this is not going to work.
I mean, that's fair enough, but that's just totally different. And if that's the case, are you going to be part of that then?
Of course I'm going to be part of it. I want to be part
of it. No, hold on. Before you say, all I'm saying is, this would be there, then their Strike Force wouldn't be the Strike Force. Maybe called the unit and totally different. Are you going to, what does that mean? What are you saying?
Well, he's not being with the outside.
Yeah, it doesn't mean, I don't have to run
Right.
Both sides have to do it all, and somebody else can run it too. I mean, I'm here. I'm your guys' leader because I really believe in you guys are my brothers.
That's what he was asking to clarify.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about running it all or talking about setting down and letting someone else take one or the other.
One at a time.
Okay, well,
If case comes to that, and that's what we do, I will have to step down and run something, and somebody else has to do the other. I can't run it all. It's just like Bobetta was saying, it's also a conflict of interest as well. So we have to have that section. But I still want to play in it, right? Either way, whichever team we go into, I'm still going to be there because I want to play with you guys. I mean, you guys are my brothers.
I think we can
Right,
sort this
so-
out. I don't think it'll be a big deal.
You know what?
Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, guys, I've listened to you for a long time. And all I'm trying to say, from what I'm hearing from you, again, the choice seems to be what you've said about the Strike Force element and Cobra. The other one is that we form a unit, like the unit is the talk if that was going to happen possibly. Or whatever, another org that then we are affiliated with. You're in it as well, but you're not in charge, someone else will be, and we'll dictate who's going to be. Or we'll do whatever, round table, whatever. I'm just trying to get in my head because after a week of all this, just trying to work out what's being said here. If that's the case, that might be something that we can all agree on and move forward. And if affiliation with you and what you want to do, get you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those talks are coming to happen. Like there's
I think one thing we should decide on is who is like Evil was saying earlier. We need to get a time where we can get as many people that are official strike force together, and then we can have a big open discussion about how we want to move forward. I think that ultimately is the best way to move at this moment in time.
Write up an agenda. All the top topics are going to be talked about, and then get it nailed down at a time, and hammer it out.
Yeah. I think you know, if we're going to let's say if we're going to divide it out, I mean, it's fine. We can work this out together. We figure out what's the best route for everyone.
I think
So wait,
like I said, I don't want to get too extreme so far. Like I said, my concern right now is just making sure that we do end up with a clear line of understanding, and I think that's what's going to happen after the meeting. And then, don't rush Cobra into anything. Don't rush the other members into anything. Let's just work it through, put it down to paper, and then we go from there.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell Cobra anything until we have a clear-cut line. We decide 100% sure this is the choice we want to take, then I'll go to him and say, this is what we're doing. I'm not even going to give him the option to say, why don't you? I was like, no. This is what we decided. This is how it's going to be. Are you okay? And you want to work with us? And that's it. I need to be prepared before I do that.
Yeah. And we could some of the non-official strike force members that do a lot with us maybe I don't know if we should invite a couple of them but
yeah,
we'll do that. I mean, I've been trying to tell people and talk to them about it, get their feelings on it. I want to give them a fair shot and tell them what's going on. So that's what I've been doing today. I've only got about maybe 4 today. And I'll keep continuing to tell the people as I see them.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
All right. Well, I think that all is very the logical approach to everything.
I think more we do need to get that a good time date that we get everyone together relatively soon as well would be sooner rather than later probably best. Wow, everyone is able to.
Calling it on Sunday, or do you want to wait till next Saturday? Is Sunday too soon?
Sunday tomorrow? Well, I mean tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
Might be too soon.
It might be too soon.
Because tomorrow is also one time you get the most people on, right?
Oh, weekends always. That's why it's either this weekend or next weekend. I think giving people time to sort themselves out. Like I said, we kind of have a sense of what might happen. Nothing is set in stone. I don't think giving time for the guys on the Cobra side to sort themselves out is a bad thing. And then we can have talks during the week. So I think maybe Sunday might be too soon, even though a lot of people will be on. But I think definitely by next Saturday we want to have it ready to go, all written up proposals and everything, and get as many people in there as possible to just make sure it's done properly.
But I think right now the consensus is, and we're leaning towards this org right now, this Discord, becoming 100% independent. Is that not a correct statement?
I believe that's.
Yes.
I believe it's going to be a necessity,
Correct.
especially
Okay.
if
There you
they
go.
have
That's it.
other orgs. It's going to be a
It's not
necessity.
confusing. I think that's the consensus is this board here wants to be 100% independent, its own entity. That's it.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a necessity. Like I said, we have to handle our own discipline, our own.
Well, that's a big vote. So.
I mean, is anybody opposed?
No, it's here. But again, I agree that it definitely looks like it's going that way now. But I think you're right. We need to ask members, and there's people that aren't here yet that need to know as well. So if that's going to be the case, then you're happy with it, then
That's why I don't think we make any final decisions right now. There are still a lot of people who aren't here. There is still a lot of people who kind of need caught up on what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
But
they need to
generally,
understand that we're
sounds
still
like it can,
friendly with Cobra Force, but we need to be out from under their jurisdiction in order to. I mean, like if we're going to deal with other streamers to do other things, I think we talked about this before, and it was something that came up often, and I think maybe it's time, and let's just go ahead and do it as smoothly as we can.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as everybody's united front, you go with it, everybody's satisfied with it, that's all that matters, right? Because you guys are going to have to put this together and go forward. Go forth and prosper, right? At that point. So that's what it's all about, right? As long as everybody's happy and I'll support whatever you guys want to do. Just make sure it's the right decision. And it's okay. I mean, we still can do everything. We're not shutting anybody out. We're just trying to establish the way forward for this particular venture.
I'm not saying anyone's trying to shut anyone out, but we do need to make sure we don't accidentally do it. I don't think anyone here would intentionally do that.
I think a lot of people probably shot from 7 days ago, so 5 days or 6 days ago. So yeah, it needs a little bit of time to sink in. A year and a half. So.
We can still guard Cobra. It'll just be as customer. We're assembling in this Discord just to keep some clear lines of distinction. Ultimately, I don't think it prevents members from going back and forth as long as Cobra Force doesn't have an issue, because I don't think we have an issue. But yeah, we do have to make it official at some point. And like I said, just going slow and making sure everybody's on board will keep new issues from cropping up while we're going through the details.
Yeah.
And Piggy is still here. James is still here. We're still working with Cobra Force. It's just that we're not going to be dodging the Cobra TV admins or things that happen. We handle them ourselves and we take responsibility for it ourselves.
I mean, in every org interaction, the only way that they interact with each other is to have one or two or three members join out of the Discord for communication. Like you brought up earlier, when we were brought in as an org to help out other orgs, we had to move to it, we had to join Discord. Whenever that's just how it works. You can't expect two orgs. Because that is Cobra has said that he wants Cobra Force to be ran as a org, not a streaming community. Granted, he still wants to stream and be streaming entertainment, but he wants Cobra Force to act.
Unfortunately, every time they try to do that, everyone fights it all the time.
I get it, but that is straight from his mouth. To me, that's a few days ago.
Realistically, I think because of his special circumstance, the only way Cobra Force can work as a community that does more than just the streaming is the smaller communities are going to have to be, if not entirely independent, at arm's length with their own moderators and their own rules. And they might be associated with Cobra. I don't know, like I said, that is his business. We can't use the name Cobra and not be associated with him. We can be Strike Force. We started as Strike Force. We are back on the Strike Force Discord that we started out on, and that's fine. But, how he feels about interacting with us, that is up to him. But
Correct.
Well, and even the, I was gonna say like Cobra says a lot. You're absolutely right. He does say that a lot. Unfortunately, every time it's brought up, everyone fights against it, and they always ultimately side against it. Or they started up for a minute, but then it collapses. No one actually wants to do it.
And I think the problem is just that their internal mechanics, and I don't want to blame the administrators or, how he does things. It's just their internal mechanics are not good for growing groups. Once a group grows beyond a certain size, it seems like things go wrong. And it's healthier for that group to be on the outside and associated with them than on the inside dodging random hailstones while trying to do things. It might be that the only way Cobra Force can be a community is to have splinter factions on the outside that, yeah, that's their legacy goes back there, but they're not dealing with, the administration that is causing a problem.
You do. I mean, it goes back to like that conversation that started even fucking Strike Force when one of the main sentiments of a lot of the people that go on stream is that the Cobra Force doesn't exist outside of stream. There is no Cobra Force off stream.
No, there is no Cobra Force.
And that's how a lot, and that's how it is, and that's how a lot of them see it, and that's how a lot of them want to keep it. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of insulting to fucking Cobra because he's constantly saying how much he doesn't want that, but and lets them control it. So.
And like that night when everything happened, he actually messaged me. He actually reached out to me, and his first sentence was, "What can I do to change things and make it a better work?" And we had a conversation for about 30 minutes, and I was like, "I want to be 100% straight with you, Cobra. You call. I was like, do you want Cobra Force to be an org, or do you treat it as an org?" He's like, yes. I'm like, okay. Number one, Cobra Force is not an org. It is a streaming community. That is what it is, and that's what they want it to be. If you want to be an org, you have to grow outside of your streams. That's exactly what I told him, and he acknowledged it. But obviously, it's in his court. He is 100% aware of what he has to do.
Yeah,
it's up to him to do something about it.
And he chooses not to, and there's nothing we can ultimately do about that. And like again, I've been kind of grinding against the cup for a minute now. Like even for the same reasons you have, I'm pretty sure too.
It's like I don't hold anything personal against them. I do like Cobra, and I do want to support him, but it's very difficult to operate and like, when we're doing operations and things like this is something we've run before. And I don't think I'm the only one that notices this, because I noticed that Fox mentioned it the other day. He was trying to spin up and make them operate like a org and spin up a little military group. And I always make the joke that Fox does this. That was his career, was going to the third world and making militaries. And he kind of just said that, he just kind of gave up on it because it just doesn't work out. I just think that the community that gathers for the stream is not one that organizes well for events or takes responsibility for things or can hold. It's just maybe not the kind of fun that they want to have. They like things being chaotic, and then now you want to have a racing group in there, and that racing group is going to want to go somewhere and line up a bunch of cargo ships full of racing ships and do stuff. And then one of them's going to want to come and bang into it because it's funny. And those two
racers are going to get pissed about that.
Yeah. Those two thoughts don't work well together any more than when we try to put together an operation and all of a sudden Cobras start shooting at each other. It's like, it's
it's like I said yesterday, order, I don't give a fuck. You blow up my ship, you blew up my ship.
Right. And I think that the only way he's going to be able to manage it is if he's going to be the community leader, he's going to have to establish a proper command structure that delegates off responsibilities for, I understand TOS and all that, but delegates it off to the various community leaders because he, despite the fact that he's the figurehead, should not be taking responsibility for day-to-day things like, bans and moderation. And the guys that are doing it, they should handle it in a much more professional manner. Because otherwise, this cycle, it will repeat. They're going to try to organize a group of something. The group of something's going to go wrong, and then arbitrary decisions and chaos follow, and then that group is going to be pissed, and they're going to walk out the door. And as much as they want to be friends, and as much as they want to associate, it's going to be like, can you physically do it?
Well, and you see that problem a lot because the moderators often aren't. They're just like the one for you. Like that guy should never been made a moderator. But yet there he was as a moderator, and ultimately just because he was Cobra's friend.
Cobra's not the only one with that problem, because if you watch the Skunks, how many times have they broken up and reformed and broken up again? It's been like 5 times now. Every time I'm looking over, the Skunks have another faction splitting off. It's like as soon as they get more than 10 members, half of them split off. I don't know what it is about. I don't know what goes on over there. I've never actually been on that Discord long enough to find out what's going on. But like all the people that I knew from there have split off into other factions since. So I don't think Cobra's the only person with this issue. I think it's just, this is our frame of reference. We experienced it, and then now we're trying to figure out like how to balance our, fondness for wanting to be with them with the reality that we can't operate under their conditions.
We ultimately seek a different gameplay that clashes theirs a little too often.
Yeah. It's like, and that's like, so if we're doing guard duty and things for like with Cobra, it has to be treated like, we are working with them, but we manage ourselves, because their management, and I guess the management of a streamer's Discord is just too nuts to do stuff with, They don't recognize the authority of the subordinate members, and that will always cause friction. And maybe we're lucky to have gone as far as we did. Maybe we could have gone further if, like I said, I don't want to dwell on that too much, but it's just like, they're not good. They're good at managing a chat. And maybe that's what it is. When they manage a chat and somebody says something wrong, they're gone. But that is not the attitude you take with a community. When in a community, when you kick a member, that has to be like a unanimous vote, and for something that is well documented, because it's a community. If it's a chat room and you kick somebody, that's a whole different thing. And maybe I wonder if that's where like the disparity is. These are moderators that moderate chat, and they're like, oh, they said something wrong, kick them out. But then you have longtime members that are, pillars of your community, and you're going to take the same attitude, and it doesn't work.
Goes round and round.
Yep.
That sounds like it went well.
Yep.
Well done, Lucky.